It's time for Atlantic Trojan Sports on KS 95.7 and live streamed at westerniowatoday.com.
And good evening from Atlantic. We've got quite a show here tonight. Tom Robinson alongside Cody Weaver as the Atlantic Wrestlers. SWAT and Atlantic will host Red Oak and Creston. And also on the girls' side, SWAT hosting Highway 34 tonight in one match and Red Oak in the other. So, Cody, welcome to the broadcast. We're going to have a lot of fun here this evening as Atlantic and boys and girls. Of course, Nottoway Valley is with the girls, as well as Cam and Atlantic in that three-team field there. And then Highway 34 is Creston, and Atlantic jumps in there as well. Of course, Red Oak's got Grizzled, I believe, in that group. So we'll have the girls wrestlers on one mat and the boys on the other here tonight. Broadcast brought to you by Olson's Outdoor Power, your one-stop service and equipment shop with locations in Atlantic and Carroll. And the First Whitney Bank, they're the only bank you'll ever need, First Whitney Bank. Body Basic, you get your body back to the basics. And Seed Pros, by your side to maximize yields from the word go. Your Pioneer Pros, John Becker, Mark Venn, Tiger, Gary Dinkla, and Nick Knutson. Then Strecken Street Auto, your transmission pros, Cass Health. Neighbors caring for neighbors, and Outfitters Plus Outlet Store, your home for personalized sports apparel in Atlantic. Also brought to you by the Super Bowl. Grab the gang and head to the Super Bowl for Glow Bowling every Friday and Saturday night. Swith are safe, reliable Swith for all your transportation needs and Stein Seeds. Stein has yield. Contact Darren Petty, your local Stein representative. Hy-Vee, Bakery, Deli, Grocery, Meat Department of Pharmacy, always there for you, your Atlantic Hy-Vee. Atlantic Ag and Auto, your locally owned full-line CarQuest retail store in Atlantic. And Rolling Hills Bank and Trust, a hometown bank for hometown people. Member FDIC. Elcourt Plastics, integrity, optimism, customer focus, and a can-do spirit. Go to MyersIndustries.com/careers to fill out an application. And the Fish Store and Pet Center, your local one-stop shop in downtown Atlantic. Tom Robbins alongside Cody Weaver here this evening. Mr. Huff is in the house, former athletic director at Nottoway Valley. Good to see Dave Huff here this evening as well. And we've got some quality wrestlers here tonight. Cody Weaver is our live video stream is up and going, folks. You can see the wrestlers warming up, and our live stream is powered by Nishnanet. And we thank Scott Bennett and the folks at Nishnanet. When you look at the boys' side, there are 11 ranked wrestlers coming in here tonight. Tate Jordan for Atlantic is ranked 12th at 106. Kristen Ahrens of Creston ranked 4th at 120. Aiden Smith of Atlantic ranked number 2 at 126. And Lincoln Keeler of Creston ranked number 12 at 132. Kyler Sandholm of Red Oak ranked 12 at 138. And Austin Evans of Creston ranked number 8 at 150. Adam Beyer, who I think has not wrestled a lot this season, but he's going to be in the lineup tonight, I believe. He is the ranked number 10 according to IA Wrestle that came out today, that they refreshed it today. He's ranked 10th at 157. And then you've got some big guys here. Quentin Fuller of Creston, he was ranked the original rankings 12 at 190, but he's actually ranked 12th at 215 for the Panthers. And then Evan Sorensen of Atlantic ranked 5th at 285. Sam Chapman of Creston ranked 12th at 285. On the girls' side, Grace Britton of SWAT, Southwest area team, the Valkyrie, coached by Tiffany South. She's number 2 at 170. And Savannah Sistad of Creston at 235, ranked number 8, Cody Weaver. So going to have a great night of wrestling here. We'll have the boys' matches. We'll keep on the girls' matches as well.
Yeah, when you look at the team lineup, Atlantic looks to be about half open weight class-wise. Creston comes in with 8 seniors, and then 4 kids that are sophomores. So they're mostly older and younger, and Red Oak has a nice mix. It looks like, maybe 1 senior, 2 seniors, and then sophomores and freshmen, so a young group coming in on the boys' side. You look at SWAT, they've got a nice full lineup, and Highway 34's got a nice lineup, so that should be a good duel. And the Red Oak girls, several weight classes open.
Going to get rolling here in just a little bit. At 5:30 start, it'll be Creston and Red Oak in the first boys match, and then Highway 34 and Red Oak in the girls match here. The Red Oak will be the girls match on our left, the boys on the left, girls on the right here, I believe. But the boys are warming up over there, Cody. Either way, we'll have the boys matches and keep you up with the girls as well. They had a chance to catch up with Atlantic head coach Tim Duff. He kind of breaks down these matches tonight. Our coaches show is brought to you by State Farm and Elvis Hass, your local good neighbor. We'll hear from Coach Duff right after this.
That wrestler in the corner is dedicated and determined to work as hard as he can for his team. His drive and perseverance comes from his core. Now, wouldn't it be nice to have an insurance agent do the same for you and be on your team? Here at Elvis Hass State Farm, we're in your corner to help you with your insurance on your auto, home, farm, business, life, and financial services. We help you understand your insurance and show you the benefits of bundling all of your coverages with just one company. Put us on your team here at Elvis Hass State Farm, 1/2 block west of the courthouse, or call 712-243-4824.
Welcome back to our Coaches Show, brought to you by Elvis Hass State Farm Insurance. We're talking Atlantic head coach Tim Duff. A big night of wrestling coming up with Atlantic, Red Oak, and Creston here at Atlantic. And then we have the girls wrestling as well on two mats, the boys on one, the girls on the other. So lots going on here tonight, Coach. Before we get into the matches with Creston and Red Oak, talk about the girls' competition here this evening.
Yeah, hello, Tom. Thanks for having me on. Should be a fun night of wrestling. Two mats going varsity on both. So the SWAT girls, which, the Atlantic girls go over there with SWAT, and Cam and Nottoway Valley all make up the SWAT Valkyries. Coach Tiffany South does a great job. They got a good coaching staff. Ryan South does a great job, and Clark Gerlach, and those guys, Sean South, those guys are doing a great job working with those girls, and it should be fun watching them compete. So the opening duels will be Red Oak and Creston. So the boys on one side, Red Oak, Creston, the girls on the other map, and the Creston girls are called Highway 34. They share with Lennox and call themselves Highway 34. And then round two will be Atlantic versus Creston, and SWAT versus the Highway 34. And round three, Atlantic, Red Oak, and the SWAT girls wrestling Red Oak. And in between those duels, there'll be some JV matches. So should be a ton of wrestling. Should hopefully get a great turnout of fans come out. The girls wrestling, the sport really growing. A lot of girls coming out. I see, our girls, I think they're pretty close to a full lineup. So doing real good job, getting recruited and recruiting numbers. And so those girls are working hard. So we're excited to, hopefully they wrestle hard. And for us, Creston, they're probably one of the premier teams in Southwest Iowa this year. They're real tough. They finished second at the Dallas Center invite there, the Andy Davidson invite up in Dallas Center Grimes. Always a tough tournament. I think Johnson won it, and Creston was right behind them. So we know they've got a really good lineup and a bunch of seniors, some kids, real experienced. Just kind of run up and down their lineup. Parsons at 106. His brother wrestled for a number of years, and this one, another hard-nosed kid. All the Creston kids, they're going to come out, stay in good position, and it's going to be a 6-minute battle. And so, a tough kid there at 106, a 113, Lane Travis. Travis wrestled last year for him. Another kid that was right there, and, I think just a match short of qualifying for the state tournament. A lot of experience there at 120. Probably one of their better returners, Christian Ahrens. Last year he wrestled real well, ended up placing the state tournament, 120 pounds. He's back down there. So he's going to be a monster at 120 pounds. He's a big kid, good athlete, good moving kid. At 126, Phelps, another kid, Creston, a lot of experience. And that's going to kind of be the word here. They've got some kids that are really experienced, real tough. Like I said, their lineup is just tough top to bottom. 132, Lincoln Keeler, another state qualifier for him. A kid that was just fell short of placing. At 138, Brandon Briley, coming off a great football season. And that's, for Creston, a lot of their guys, were really active, played instrumental roles in their run in the football playoffs. So they got a lot of guys that are real hungry and real experienced and real tough and competitive kids. At 144, they're breaking in the new face there, Rick. Don't know much about him. I think he wrestled some JV last year. But, if you're making Creston's lineup, I think they've got 35 kids up. So there's a battle in the room to get to that varsity spot. So he'll be a solid kid. at 150, Austin Evans, another state place winner for him. A kid we've seen, conference championship out of last year, and, a high place winner and one of their leaders of their team at 150. At 157, Milo Staver, a kid that, kind of came in last year and wrestled at East Union and got him in there last year, and a good kid. Real competitive, real physical kid there at 157. 165, Bollinger, another kid that was right there at state placing level. A kid that has a lot of experience, a real compact kid, really strong and stout, and he's going to get after you. At 175, another new face in their lineup, Barber, Kai Barber, and so don't know much about him, but looked like, he competed at the Dallas Center Grimes, got on the stand, top 8. So, obviously, like I said, he's in that Creston room. He's going to come out and battle. At 190, Gunnar Martwick, I think they also have a Luther kid, Jager Luther, and I'm not sure if he's coming off a football injury. We'll see who shows up. Russell's for him there at 190 there. 215, Quentin Fuller. I think in football, he probably played football at 245. So seeing him get down to 215, he's probably going to be a really big kid. And, he's one of those kids with a real high motor for a big kid. And, a guy that's been to the state tournament, going to come out and battle. And at 285, Max Chapman, another big kid. He was their big stud lineman. And, he's probably all at 275, 280, big, strong guy, state qualifier last year. I think fell just one match short of placing. So we know Creston lineup going to be real solid. And like I said, they're probably the favorite in the Hawkeye 10 between Creston and Glenwood. So it'll be interesting to watch those guys battle out. And, for us, we're still putting the lineup together. We'll see if we can get some guys out there and get out there and try to compete against, the likes of Creston and a chance to kind of see where we're at. And then in the final duel of the night, we'll wrestle Red Oak. Red Oak, similar to us, I think they've got some top-tier kids in their lineup, some guys that have some experience, real high-level kids, and then they're breaking in some new faces, and they've got some young guys. So it should be a real competitive duel. Our open weights are going to be tough for us. We understand, like in duels, it's a difficult task right now for us as we're trying to get kids, to a weight because we've got some opens, but, our kids are going to come out and battle. We put on the map, Red Oak's lineup, Ostenhoff at 106, kind of a new face for him, but, he's a kid that, they said here come out and battle, and they like his attitude. At 113, Ramos, another new face in their lineup, but I think he's working hard. They got some JV kids at 20, 26. We'll see who they put out there. 132, you have Gusman, a kid that wrestled some last year. We've seen him at 138. Kyler Sandholm. Sandholm's probably their most decorated, one of their more decorated wrestlers. He's a real tough kid. Wrestle 138. We've got some freshmen in there. We'll see if we can come out and battle with him. 144, Joshua Lorette. Josh Lorette's one of those kids, stocky kid, strong, a lot of experience. He's been on their varsity for a couple of years, and then in that 50, 57, 65, I think they've got some young guys, and we're kind of open in there. So they're going to pick up some, free points, and those forfeits are that's something we've got to work through as a team and try to, try to see if we can get some kids down and up to those weights to fill them up. 175, Baz Clear. He's a tough competitor. Skipped 165, Adam Byers. I don't think he wrestled last week, but I think they're planning on him wrestling Thursday here at the duel. At 215, Nolan Perrin, another kid that's got some experience. And then they've got some other JV kids. They wrestled last week at JV. I'm sure they're used against us in the varsity at 190 and heavyweight. So, should be a great night of wrestling for us. We're going to have to come out and to make up for our opens, we're going to try to score bonus points. And so we'll get out and battle and compete and hopefully, put on a good show for our fans.
Excellent. Coach, coming off the last duel and, of course, your tournament at Humboldt, you did have some really good efforts, especially by a few of your veteran wrestlers, but also some of these freshmen really looked good and it looked like they have a lot of potential going into the season.
Yeah, wrestled well there up at Humboldt. We took 8 varsity kids, had 4 champs, 4 guys in the finals. They all won their bracket. A couple of those freshmen, Calvin Hayes at 144, Jaden Harder 138. They finished in 3rd place but competed hard. We like the way Donovan Hedrickson gets out there and competes. Got to work on staying in a little better position in a few spots. Cohen Bruce at 190, a senior, moving real well. We've got to find a takedown, but he's competing hard. Those 4 guys that didn't win the championships, they wrestled well, and obviously our 4 champs, they're going to have to step up and be team leaders for us. And the guys that won the Humboldt tournament, we're lean on them heavily to come out and set the tone, and then. Like I said, hopefully we can continue to strengthen our lineup as we move through the season and ultimately keep getting better. Monday night we took 12 kids to JV tournament in in AL, and they wrestled hard. They had 5 champs and 5 runner-ups out of the 12, so they competed hard. There's some young kids there with a lot of potential and great attitudes, and we're just going to keep pushing forward, keep working, and keep learning.
Coach Duff, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Best of luck tonight. We'll talk to you afterwards.
Yeah, thanks, Tom. Thanks for all the coverage. Hopefully it'll be a good night of wrestling.
It should be great. Live video stream on WesternIowaToday.com here, powered by Nishtanet, and also on the radio here at 95.7 FM. We'll get things started here at 5:30, and we'll continue throughout the night here at Atlantic, Creston, Red Oak, and on the girls' side, we have Red Oak Highway 34 and the SWAT Valkyrie going on as well. Lots of action. We'll try to keep up with it all here this evening on 95.7 FM and live video streamed. We'll be back with the starters right after this from Atlantic.
This segment of Did You Know by Amy Jo is about hydraulic hoses. Well, guess what? They break. And at the worst times possible, too. Atlantic Egg and Auto can build you a new hydraulic hose most of the time faster than it takes you to even get to town. Now, don't begin a ticket racing to town to see me. Since you're here, you might as well get more hydraulic fluid, shop towels, detailing supplies, and fresh cab to keep those rodents out. Atlantic and Audubon Egg and Auto, your only locally owned CarQuest Auto Parts stores.
After years of wondering why I see more runners than other athletes, I figured it out. Well, a sophomore hurdler explained it to me. This is Dr. Fritz Beyer of Body Basics Chiropractic, and he told me since my hip started acting up, I lost 1.
Welcome back into Atlantic, the Atlantic Trojans, Red Oak Tigers, Creston Panthers on the boys' side, Highway 34. On the girls' side, Griswold and the SWAT team will be wrestling. Red Oak Vars. I said Griswold, but Griswold with Red Oak. It's Red Oak and Highway 34 and SWAT here, Cody Weaver. So looking for some good wrestling. And Coach talked about Creston. They're going to be solid again this season.
Yeah, like I said, they've got 8 seniors on their roster and, 4 sophomores. So it's a loaded group for those guys. They had a great football season, and they're going to be trying to do the same thing on the mat here, and a lot of those kids wrestle. So
looking forward to it. We're going to have the lineups coming up here in just a little bit. And, of course, our national anthem. We're going to take a 1-minute timeout. We'll be back right after these.
Winters. Cass Health in Atlantic, Iowa is a nationally recognized hospital, and we are proud of the awards and all of our recent accomplishments. But do you know what drives us to be the very best? You. We're passionate about helping our patients heal and feel their very best at any age and any stage of life. Cass Health, neighbors caring for neighbors.
Elkhart Plastics in Atlantic has a career opportunity for you. They're currently looking to hire first and second shift oven operators, first shift assemblers, and maintenance personnel, along with competitive pay and shift differential offered for second shift. Elkhart Plastics offers medical, dental, vision, company-paid life and disability plans, as well as vacation, paid holidays, education reimbursement, and retirement savings plans. Go to myersindustries.com/careers to view openings and fill out an application. Elkhart Plastics is an equal opportunity and affirmative.
Welcome back into Atlantic. We'll have our national anthem, and then we'll have the starting lineups brought to you by Elvis Haas, State Farm. Elvis Haas, your local good neighbor, bringing us our coaches show and in your corner with our starting lineups. And of course, we'll have the match of the meet coming up a little bit later on when our broadcast is all in and all done. So again tonight, it's Red Oak, Highway 34. SWAT for the girls, Atlantic, Creston, and Red Oak for the boys. So the boys will be wrestling on the east mat, the girls on the west mat. We'll keep you up with the girls' matches here throughout the evening. Broadcast brought to you in part by Body Basics. Call 254-BODY, get your body back to the basics and the Seed Pros. By your side to maximize yields. From the word go, your Pioneer Pros, John Becker, Mark Ventiger, Garrett Dinkla, and Nick Knutson. 2nd Street Auto, your transmission pros. Cass Health, neighbors caring for neighbors. Let's take a look at the wrestlers here tonight for the SWAT varsity. Jazz Christensen at 100. Hope Woods for Highway 34. And Red Oak Open at 105. Destiny Fry for SWAT, coached by Tiffany South, Ryan South also, Sean South, and Clark Gerlach, Alan Beatty, all coaches for Coach South. Malia Cabbage at 110. Chloe Parker for Highway 34 at 110. At 115, Quincy Sorensen of SWAT, and Sydney Hoffman of Highway 34, and Red Oak Open. At 120, Caden Kinsey of SWAT. Elena Galakis from Highway 34. Galakis' father was quite a wrestler at the University of Iowa. And Maddie Osheim from Red Oak. At 125 pounds, Rhea Parker for SWAT. Grace Keeler, Highway 34. And Elena Copers from Red Oak. At 130 pounds, SWAT Open. Highway 34, Heavy Marlin. And for Red Oak, Nicole Bond. At 135, Bailey Lillard of SWAT. Zoe Vandeventer from Highway 34 and Josie McCunn of Red Oak. At 140 pounds, Liliana Tafoya for SWAT. Highway 34 has Cheyenne Dyke, and Red Oak has Amber Ray. 145, Mia South for SWAT. Open, Highway 34, Open Red Oak. At 155, Liliana Johnson for SWAT. Highway 34 has Ali Villanueva and Red Oak Paige Byer. 170, Grace Britton, ranked number 2 in the state at 170 for SWAT. Highway 34 is open, Red Oak Open. At 190, Ellen Gerlach for SWAT. The Highway 34 and Red Oak are both open. And at 235, Haley Armstrong of SWAT and Savannah Sistad, who's ranked number 12th in the state for the Red Oak team. On the boys' side, at 106 for Atlantic, Tay Jordan. For Creston, Kylan Parsons and Brody Osthoff for Red Oak. And at 113, Braxton Haas of Atlantic, Lane Travis of Creston, Junior Ramos for Red Oak. Atlantic's open at 120. Christian Ahrens, who is rated for the Creston Panthers at 120 pounds. He's ranked number 4 and open Red Oak. At 126, Aiden Smith ranked number 2. Broderick Phelps of Creston and open is Red Oak. At 132, Jaden Harder of Atlantic. Lincoln Keeler of Creston. Dayton Gooseman from Red Oak. 138, Draven Smith of Atlantic. Brandon Briley of Creston. And Kyler Sandholm, maybe Joshua Lorette for Red Oak. At 144, Calvin Hayes of Atlantic, a freshman. Carson Reek of Creston and Kyler Sandholm of Joshua Lorette. At 150, Atlantic is open. Austin Evans for Creston and Jackson Purdue of Red Oak. And at 157, Atlantic is open. Creston has Milo Staver and Sergio Villanueva at 157. At 165, Atlantic open. Creston, Will Bollinger, and Baz Clear of Red Oak at 165. 175, Donovan Hedrington of Atlantic, Jackson Pettigrew of Creston, Andrew Johnson of Red Oak. At 190, Cohen Bruce of Atlantic, Gunnar Martwick of Creston, Caleb Ransom of Red Oak. Atlantic's open at 215, and then at 215 for the Panthers, Quentin Fuller and Nolan Perrion of Red Oak. And at 285, we've got a couple of ranked wrestlers here. Evan Sorensen of Atlantic at 285, ranked number 5 in the state. He's a junior. Max Chapman of Creston, ranked number 12 in the state. And Jared Scriver of Red Oak. So those are your wrestlers here tonight. Your starting lineups are brought to you by State Farm. Elvis Hash, your local good neighbor. We're going to take a 2-minute timeout. We're back right after these.
First Windy Bank is the longest standing locally owned bank in Atlantic, and as such, we take pride in how we serve our community. For generations, we have been involved with our customers and their families by getting involved in community events and by supporting technology and teaching financial literacy in our schools. You'll also see our support of athletics on the scoreboards at home events. It's this involvement that allows us to know our customers and their families for generations. First Windy Bank.
The perfect companion is waiting for you at the Fish Store and Pet Center in Atlantic. Pick out a furry guinea pig, hamster, or mouse. Maybe something feathered. They have an aviary full of birds to choose from. What about something scaly, like a snake, lizard, or hermit crab? And it's in their name. A wide variety of fish are available at the Fish Store and Pet Center. Get all the food and accessories you need to keep that new addition to your family happy and healthy. The Fish Store and Pet Center in Atlantic, a pet lover's paradise.
Hi everyone, this is Caitlin from your Atlantic Hy-Vee. Start your day off right and let us take care of breakfast. We have so much to choose from eggs, sausage, bacon, pancakes, and so much more. We are available 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. daily. Stop in and enjoy. Have you ordered your holiday packs yet? Leave all the holiday craziness to us. Stop in or give Crystal a call today to get your pack ordered. And don't forget, we also have in our meat department, you buy a ham and get a free turkey. That's right, you buy a ham and you get a free turkey. Thank you as always for shopping your Atlantic Hy-Vee.
Olson's Outdoor Power is your one-stop service and equipment shop for all things outdoor. We sell the best power sports products in the business, from Polaris, Can-Am, Sea-Doo, and Ski-Doo, trailers to tackle any job from H&H, Triton, and Wilson, and we continue to lead the way in lawn and garden equipment with great products from Exmark, Dixie Chopper, Husqvarna, Cub Cadet, Steel, and Echo. Add factory-trained technicians in 2 locations, and it's easy to see why Olson's Outdoor Power is the leader in all things outdoor. Olson's Outdoor Power, your one-stop service and equipment shop with locations in Atlantic and Carroll.
Sports on KS 95.7 and live streamed at westerniowatoday.com.
Yeah, welcome back to Atlantic as we get set for high school wrestling tonight. The captains are meeting right now. Creston, Red Oak, they'll be going at it. The mat to the right. They'll start it off, and Red Oak and Highway 34 will start off for the girls' side as well. Cody Weaver will have our play-by-play tonight, and big night of wrestling, Cody. Here we go, about ready to roll here.
We're starting Hawkeye 10 duels.
Yeah.
So it seems early in the season, and you're halfway through December, so time goes fast.
No doubt about it. And the Atlantic boys will wrestle Creston next, and then their final match will be Red Oak here on the right side. So girls meeting with Highway 34 along with Red Oak, and they'll get started here as well. Looks like we're going to start at 100 for the girls, and then 126 on the boys' side here, Cody Weaver.
Yeah, I don't know if there's, sometimes during the duels you do that, but when you look at the lineup for Red Oak and, Atlantic versus Creston, it's going to be tough, even moving kids around to be able to compete. You're going to want to win the contested matches is your goal there, and battle all the way through those matches. So
we're ready to go at 126 pounds.
It looks like, yeah, and I mean, it looks like 126 is going to be Red Oak looks open at this point, and Creston's got the Broderick Phelps coming in here. We've got the Red Oak wrestlers, looks like it's coming over to the mat side there and going to sit in the seats there to prepare.
So Atlantic is going to have some open weights as they did in that Earlham duel, and Red Oak will too, but Creston, they fill it, Cody, from top to bottom. And so 126, as you mentioned, open for Red Oak. Now we get to 132 pounds. Lincoln Keeler is scheduled to come out for the Creston Panthers. And Keeler ranked number 12 at 132 pounds for the Creston Panthers, as we're still waiting for the arrival of our first competitors here. And on the girls' side, as we're starting at 100 pounds, and it's going to be Creston, Red Oak getting things started here. So it's going to be fun, and just kind of waiting to get things rolling here, huh?
Yeah, I don't know what the holdup is there for sure. Usually Coach Duff, he's got a saying that can't be said on the radio as far as being on time and everything. All the wrestlers that have wrestled for him know what that is. So, it looks like 26 is going to go check in here, and that'll be, a forfeit for Creston. Get his arm raised, and we'll go up to 132 pounds. It looks like a Gussman kid from Red Oak should come out, and he'll take on Keeler. Keeler qualified for state, as a freshman. Didn't qualify as a sophomore, qualified last year, and then coming back as a senior this year. So,
again, your wrestlers on the mat. That's brought to you by State Farm. Elvis Hash, your local to good neighbors, in your corner. So there is 6-point lead for the Panthers with that open weight for Red Oak, and we move up to 132 pounds. And waiting for Highway 34 right now on the mats. And it looks like we've got a open weight there at 100 on the girls' side as well. Well, we'll get to the 132-pounders here. And you mentioned for the Panthers, Lincoln Keeler, and he'll wrestle Dayton Gooseman, the sophomore. Keeler comes into the meet tonight, ranked number 12 at 132 pounds for the Creston Panthers. Panthers have quite a few ranked wrestlers here tonight. Atlantic has their share as well, and Red Oak has Kyler Sandholm at 138, Adam Byer 10th at 157 pounds here, and Sandholm at 138 again, and Byer 157 pounds. So here we go with 132 pounders, Cody Weaver.
Yeah, this is Keeler from Creston taking on Gussman. Keeler moved around a little bit. I think he was at 20 maybe last year. So collar tie there by Gussman, single there by Keeler. Has the legs wrapped up there kind of in a freestyle state, walks forward and goes out of bounds here, and we're going to come back to the center. So just a quick takedown there, outside single, and he's going to go ahead and put Gussman down there on the bottom. Keeler is going to cover that left-hand side. Arm chop there on the right side. Deep waist with that right arm now, dropping forward. Tilts Gussman over. Gussman able to roll through that, kind of come back up to his base now in a sit-out position. Keeler catches him as he's sitting out, reaches in. He's going to get, looks like 2 near fall there. Keeler working ball and chain almost there. Released that. Riding the hips pretty tough. Tilted Gussman over there, but not able enough to get any near fall points there.
Broderick Phelps winning the match at 126 by forfeit to put Creston up 6-0. And Guzman and Lincoln Keeler here. Keeler got the takedown and riding right now.
Yeah, it shows 2-0, but I think he should have had 2 back points earlier, so it should be 4-0 from what I've got. Just under a minute now in that first period, and kind of both arms tied up there by Keeler. Keeler, riding behind the hips there. Did have the right side deep waist in, switched off that. You see him kind of reach in between the legs. He's wanting to get that wrist of Gussman there. Gussman is able to roll through here and kind of comes out the backside a little bit, and Keeler does a good job reaching kind of cross through the legs there and get his broken down off his base, and Gussman, builds his base back up and tries to scoot in here, and it looks like Keeler maintained control at this point and is able to come back around behind there, but Gussman doing a good job there fighting, tried kind of a Granby there, and Keeler did a good job trailing behind there.
Still 2-0 in favor of Keeler, and Gussman really had a good effort there, as you mentioned.
Yeah, he's
Keeler's
battling.
Riding, yeah.
I mean, Keeler's riding those hips tight and should be, again, I think it should be 4-0, but looks like Keeler's choice here from Creston, and Coach Downing says you go down that bottom position, and going to start the second period with Keeler down, Gussman covering there. Gussman's going to cover that left-hand side. Keeler right away up to his feet on his base there. Gussman come off to the side there, elevates, takes Keeler back down, kind of the opposite direction there. Keeler doing a good job getting up on his knees there on that base. So Gussman with the deep waist on the left-hand side. Keeler right away comes up, turns and faces, hips in there. And Gussman doing a good job.
Nice roll through. He's going to get 2, Cody Weaver, if he gets his head
he's
in
got
position.
His head chopped there. And
he's, now he's stacked up.
See, Keeler's got the leg locked up there. He's going to try to. But Gussman, nobody has control awarded at this point. Gussman's head, there's no way he's going to get his head out of that position, but probably end up being a stalemate there. And Keeler's just continues to crank that neck, and he's working on some back exposure there.
Keeler just never panicked. Looks like
Keeler does have the inside of that right leg, though, so it should be a 2-point takedown there.
There you go.
Keeler.
There you go. He actually called a reversal. That's not correct, but 4-0.
Yeah, so right on the edge of the mat, as you can see there, and Keeler really riding tough there on top, keeping control. And there's going to be a little bit of a blood timeout here for Keeler of Creston.
You want to go back to, looked like Gussman had a chance to get the escape, and boy, Keeler knew exactly where he was, Cody Weaver, and able to come back and almost got some back points. Certainly did not, but he knew where he was all the time.
Yeah, he had that leg in and kind of a 3-quarter Nelson on Gussman, and Gussman did a good job not panicking. But Keeler was able, to kind of continue to work forward slowly and get him in a bad enough position. And plus he locked his leg on the inside of Gussman's right leg there for that 2-point actually control for that takedown, or reversal they called it. Because Keeler did start in the bottom position, and they never gave him 1 for an escape, so that's the reason that they called it a reversal there. So
44 seconds to go in the second period. It's a 4-0 lead for Keeler, and he'll cover the top here.
See Bruck there went over and did award those 2 points from that first period.
Nice job, Cody. Eagle eye, you had it.
Gussman down set in that referee's position. Keeler covers that left side again. Right away, kind of inside thigh pry right there. Gussman, another Granby attempt there. You can see Keeler blocking that right hand, and Gussman wanting to roll through and does a good job rolling through, but Keeler follows, does a nice job covering, bars that right arm up here, and he's going to reach through on the leg side or belly side of Gussman and go for a tilt here. Going to be a 2-point near fall. Looks like Keeler now has the chicken wing in, is going to run around the head here. Gets Gussman's shoulders exposed again.
Boy.
7 seconds left here, and Gussman's going to want to fight, and Keeler wants to elevate and get those shoulders exposed. The time's going to run out here, so he's only going to get 3 near fall out of that. So he should have got maybe 2 for the tilt. It's 11-0 right now as we go into the third period, and we're going to go neutral on our feet. Keeler had that outside single sweep in that first period and then rode the rest of the period. Got a 2-point near fall to end that first period 4-0. So we're in the third period, and right away he grabs for that. How
about Gussman?
Outside single there, and Gussman goes the opposite direction, and he's got almost a full Nelson there on Keeler, and Keeler kind of peeling up underneath there, comes back up to his feet here and turns and tries to face Gussman and gets that 1-point escape. So it's 12-2 right now. Keeler with that advantage.
Gussman, the first chance he really had to control things. Keeler's controlled the first 2 periods, and Gussman came around and got the 2. It's still a major decision for Keeler as he swings around. It looks like he might get.
He does a good job
peeling
the wrist off, and Gussman, didn't quite belly out fast enough. Keeler's able to catch that leg, but as he goes forward, Keeler's got a deep half in now and gets the opposite wrist, and it looks like he's going to try to stack him up. as he's right on the edge of the mat, and Gussman knows where he's at. You can see him kind of going that direction here. So it's 14-2 right now. Keeler with the advantage of Creston with 47 seconds left here in the third period.
Panthers with a full lineup. Atlantic with some open weights. Red Oak also with a few open weights. In fact, Red Oak with 2 open weights. And Atlantic has still, they've got some young wrestlers. They're going to fill those eventually, Cody. But right now, Coach Duff is going to leave them open for the time being. Atlantic had a good showing at Humboldt last Friday night. So here we go, Cody, back. Keeler controlling here.
Yeah, Keeler really, not really getting off the hips a lot a few times, but, Gussman get called for stalling there with his head on the mat, not trying to get that head up off the mat. But again, Keeler riding that right side hip pretty tight, doing a good job controlling that. Gussman there with another roll through, and Keeler doing a good job tracing, right after him here. Down to 10 seconds left. Keeler chops that right arm, rolls him through right back to his base, and that's the way it's going to end. So 14-2 decision for Keeler here at 132 pounds over Gussman of Red Oak.
So a major decision for Keeler. That'll give the Panthers 4 more points. And they're up 10-0 after 2 weight classes with the 4-foot at 126 pounds. And now Keeler comes out and gets the win. Broderick Phelps of Creston won by forfeit at 126. And Lincoln Keeler picks up 4 more points for the Panthers at 132. So now we'll move on to 138 pounds. We'll see who comes out.
Lorette for Red Oak coming out. And for Creston, it looks like it's going to be, it's not Brandon Briley.
But at 138 pounds, we'll get these.
Must be G.J. Wright of Creston.
So it's going to be Joshua Lorette of Red Oak and Brandon Briley of Creston, who is coming out here to wrestle at 138 pounds. Lineup brought to you by State Farm. Elvis Hash, your local good neighbor, in your corner. And it's going to be Brandon Briley of Creston, Joshua Lorette of Red Oak going at it here. 10-0. Panthers on top. Cody.
Yeah, Coach Duff talked about Briley, the running back for Creston, had a great season here, but the other side, Lorette is so stocky and strong. That's somebody, that hadn't wrestled a lot as a youth, came out in high school, and he's just completely changed the way he wrestled from the beginning of wrestling to now. So Briley in with that single leg there. Takes Lorette back. Lorette doing a good job bellying out there. So Briley with that 2-point takedown. Kind of riding the left leg, working on the inside left arm. Lorette back up to his feet, turns faces. So it's right now a 2-1 match. Briley with the advantage here at Creston at 138 pounds.
We're trying to keep up on the girls' side here too, Cody Weaver, but nothing is registered here on our track wrestling. But we'll get those for you here, hopefully, when we get her down. A few open weights there early on as well.
Yeah, Briley in on that exact same single. Takes Lorette down, has Lorette's back exposed, but no control there, and he should get control there unless Lorette, you see, grabs that knee. It could do a reverse cradle here. But Briley doing a good job putting his right leg in, but he can't get it locked in there. So right now they're in a stalemate. They do award points to Briley, and I'm not sure that he's got 100% control, but that's the official's call there.
So Kyler Sandholm is ranked 12th at 138 for the Tigers. I wonder if they're going to be moving him up then.
Yeah, they're both kind of listed there, 138, 144. So
we'll see Sandholm at 144, I would imagine, here.
When Briley, doing a good job trying to get a tilt here, gets a 1 count there on Lorette, but Lorette coming back down here to his belly. Lorette doing everything he can do to avoid that angle to get those back points counted. Time expires here, so 4-1 right now. Briley with that advantage here at 138 pounds. That'd be Red Oak's choice, and you can see there that he defers. So we'll go to Briley from Creston, and he's going to take that bottom referee's position and get down and get set.
Creston leading 10-0 with a forfeit by Broderick Phelps, and Gooseman with a major decision, 14-2 at 132.
Yeah, Briley was set there. You see Lorette cover. Now he drops back into a single, trips forward. Briley doing a good job trying to turn around and grab the opposite. They're going to get in a scramble position here, and Lorette able to almost get a cradle locked up there and switches back down to a single, goes the opposite direction, takes Briley back down to the mat to maintain that control. You can see Coach Downing saying, you know, kind of keep your front base wide there. Lorette now with that left leg locked up, Briley able to come up to his feet, turn and face. 5-1 now Briley, Creston with that advantage with 1:18 to go here in the second period. In on that single again, and he's been able to get to that single, Lorette, 3 times now. So Lorette's needs to move his feet here and watch a little bit more, know that single leg's coming in. Back to the center. Head snap there by Briley. Lorette with a collar trying an elbow pass. He's going to try to muscle Briley here and tries to get around behind. Briley doing a good job turning, driving right into him as he's on the edge of the mat. So we're going to come back to the center with a little under a minute now left in the second period. 5-0 or 5-1. Briley of Creston with that advantage. Collar tied by Lorette there, kind of by both wrestlers. Lorette with an underhook now. Briley able to circle opposite direction, bring that elbow down to break that. Underhook elbow pass attempt there. Briley right in on that single again. You can see Lorette keeping his hips in tight there. And Briley's going to want to turn and face and get that head out. He steps over the ankle of Lorette, but Lorette right now has got a lot of pressure on Briley. And Briley's kind of got his hips and shoulders in a bad position, but able to scoot his hips back up. And right now, no points awarded here with 9 seconds to go. And Briley's going to want to kind of swim out of that and come out the back for that 2 points. And Lorette's going to want to try to hold on here. And he barely does hold on. So no points are going to be awarded. And it was close there at the end of that second period. It'll be Lorette's choice here, and Lorette chooses neutral here. They come back to the center here to start this third period. 5-1 right now, Briley with that advantage. Drops right in on that single again. Nice whizzer there, but Briley doing a good job turning the opposite direction there, kind of getting behind the hips of Lorette for that additional takedown. 7-1 now, right now. Briley with Creston with that advantage. Deep waist there on the left side by Briley. Chops and tries to go forward now. Across the arm, and you see Lorette trying to work that right arm control there. Wrist fight underneath there. He's got Briley's arm, and Briley turns kind of that opposite direction, gets a count, settles in a little bit here on. And Lorette reaching back with no arm in on that. You see him reaching, trying to grab that wrist of Briley. Briley does get too near fall there, so 9-1 right now, Briley. So it's a major decision for Briley right now with a minute left here. Tries to lock up the cradle on Lorette. Lorette expands his waist there a little bit, stretches out and breaks that lock. Cross face by Briley there. Again, Lorette on bottom there. We'll probably get called for stalling here pretty quick.
There it is. He's got a warning now.
Bellied out there and comes up to his hips a little bit. And then Briley, really on top of the hips there, but you see him out front there working that cross face. Now he's reaching underneath, trying to get that opposite arm. Arm chop there by Briley, working 2-on-1 on that left arm of Lorette. And Briley's going to want to try to turn and tilt here, and Lorette locking up that right leg of Briley, and we're down to 6 seconds here, so it'll end up 9-1. Briley of Creston with a major decision here.
Another 4 points for the Panthers, and now they lead 14-0. Broderick Phelps of Creston wins by a forfeit of 126. Dayton Guzman of Red Oak wrestling Lincoln Keeler of Creston at 132, and Keeler wins by 14-2, major decision. Then at 138, it was Josh Lowett of Red Oak against Brandon Briley of Creston, and Briley picks up the win here by major decision. So it's 14-0 Creston.
This will be the match of the night right here for the Red Oak Creston duel. It's going to be Sandholm Red Oak taking on.
Well, we're yet to get the name there, but it's going to be Sandholm, and he's ranked. And for the Tigers, it's going to be Carson Reek of Creston, and we're underway here. Sandholm comes in ranked at number 12 at 138.
And Reek talked about, Duff talked about Reek coming in, so he's got to be pretty good to crack the lineup. And
he did, yeah,
Sandholm Reek able to pick that up and elevate that. But one thing about wrestling the Sandholm kid, he's really flexible, knows where he's at. He never panics. And usually on the defensive side, he's tough because he's always able to move opposite direction. You see him reach over the head a lot like that.
Which is unorthodox.
Yep, and then you see him reach the arm there, and basically he's going to pull that kid over the top of him, and you see him do that kind of all season long. So wrestling kids like that, you're just not used to kids reaching back and reaching over like that. But Reek really doing a good job knowing where he's at, hipping into Sandholm, but you can see Sandholm there readjusts and gets that
unbelievable. Cody, you talked about reaching. That's one thing when the youth are out there wrestling. Don't reach for that head because they get pinned. But Sandholm, he knows what he's doing with it.
He must be strong enough he can get away with it. So it should be 2-2 now with that reversal there. So just under a minute here in the first period. And Reek of Creston and Sandholm of Red Oak here at 144 pounds. So again, you see the Lorette kid move down to 38. I know Coach Podliska, I talked to him a little bit, and he wanted Sandholm not Sandholm, but Lorette there. So escaped there by Reek, and he was able to get that first takedown. So see if he can create some movement here on Sandholm. Sandholm in on a nice double though, able to adjust, drive straight in, kind of a blast double. You can see he's got a chicken wing now on that left-hand side. Goes to a power half on the right, puts the left leg in. And he's got that leg locked. He's reaching a crossbody now, kind of a crossbody ride there. And Reek's going to try to hip down and come out the back door, but Sandholm's going to be a stalemate there by the official. Good job by Bruck there, not letting him sit in that position for too long. So 4-3 right now, Sandholm Red Oak with that advantage.
Well, you're right. This is the match, at least the match so far of this duel.
And Sandholm with the ankle pick there, and Reek trying to come up, and
I don't know what happened there, but I thought
he thought the whistle blew, and
that was on the girls' side.
Yep, that was on the other side. So again, you need to wrestle till you think the whistle blows, but even a little bit longer. I mean, that made the difference in the match right there, tying it up 4-4. So it's Creston choice here, and he's going to defer, and Sandholm wants to go down that bottom position to start the second period. So a little bit of a, a let up, I guess, by both wrestlers there, and Reek was just able to react a little bit quicker. So Sandholm sitting out again, reaches back for the head, trying to pull Reek over the front, and able to come back out the back here though, but he's got Reek's head, and you see how Sandholm was reaching through there, trying to expose the back here. It gives him 2-point near fall, catches Reek on his back.
Oh, wow.
And he's going to settle in right here, and he's got that front headlock really tight.
There it is, Cody.
Gets the fall, yep. And that's just something that you'll notice, these guys are going to wrestle each other 5 or 6 times this year at least. So Sandholm, and maybe Sandholm will go back to 38, but that's something that, as somebody that's watched wrestling, and the kids develop, you've seen that for years from Sandholm, and that's kind of his wrestling style, a little bit that way, a little bit unconventional.
Well, you called it. He went down 2-0 right away, and then he just took control. Didn't even change an expression on his face. He just businesslike, huh?
Yep. Looks like Austin Evans coming out for the. Probably going to come out for a forfeit here. I don't think Red Oak will put anybody up against him here.
150. Jackson Purdue is listed, but Evans is going to win by the 4-foot here. So that's 12 points now. It shows 13-0 on the board, but I believe it should be 14-0. With the 3 4-foots is 8, or the 2 4-foots And the pin is 18. So it should be a 26-0 here. Now we're going to move up to 100 and...
Yeah, it'd be 6 for Red Oak for the fall.
So we're going to move up here and 150 pounds. 1 by 4 foot for Creston. And now we'll go to 157. As an open weight, Austin Evans wins by 4 foot at 150. Your lineups brought to you by State Farm Elvis Haas. In your corner, your local neighbor. And so at 157 now we go.
This looks like Milo Staver of Creston taking on Sergio Villanueva.
Yeah, Villanueva. Sergio Villanueva and Staver.
Outside single there by Staver right away. Releases that. Goes back in. You see him with the elbow pass. Goes the opposite direction of that outside single. Circles. Keeps the hands locked up there. Moves forward. Staver on top here with a tilt. Has the arm tied up there and going to get at least a 2 count there, it looks like. He gets 2 near fall. Releases that. So it should be 6-0 right now. Staver on top there with that deep waist on the right side. Trying to block that left arm again. And again, he's going to want to roll through for a tilt here. Kind of they call it a suicide tilt. Now he goes the opposite direction to be safe there. Releases that. Does an ankle pick. Steps over. Gets him on his back here. Staver kind of a Turk type move with that leg locked up there. Releases that leg. 3 more near fall. So 9-1 now. Takedowns by Staver and escape. Looks like he's going to release him now back up to his feet. Right there in the center, and did an elbow pass the opposite direction to the outside there. He goes an ankle pick there, takes him down. We're going to cover here on the back. Settles in here. Not able to quite get the fall there, releases that. So 3 more near fall there. Staver now deep waist on that right side. Arm bar on the left side. Gonna sweep through that, put a half in, settle in here, and get the fall with 10 seconds to go in the first period.
Well, Creston up big here now, and let me take a look here what we have on our Broderick Phelps of Creston, 1 by 4 foot. There's 6 points. Lincoln Keeler won by a major decision over Dayton Gooseman, 14-2. That made it 10-0. Then Brandon Brownie of Creston, he defeated, or Josh Lorette rather, of Briley beat Lorette by a 9-1 major, and then Sandholm of Red Oak at 144 comes back to pin Carson Reek in 227. Austin Evans at 150 wins by 4 foot over Red Oak, and Milo Staver of Creston now with that pin over Sergio Villanueva. So we go to 165 pounds, 25-6. The Panthers are on top, and we'll bring you the wrestlers here. Cody Weaver, brought to you by State Farm, as Elvin Haas Insurance, William Bollinger of Creston, and Baz Clear of Red Oak. Take it away.
Yeah, and Bollinger right away takes him down, takes him to his back here, and that's not what Clear was wanting to do. Clear's a kid that you've seen kind of scrap, you know, some of the best, and a lot of freestyle type throwing experience, but Bollinger just settling in here. You can see his hips real heavy there. He does a reverse half now, and he's going to scoot towards the head there, and Baz Clear can't get that left arm out, and you see Bollinger kind of even pushing the head down a little bit out of the way to try to get those shoulders exposed, but Clear doing a good job so far keeping that left shoulder off the mat, but there's a lot of time left here. And
Bollinger comes in ranked number 9 at 165. Tigers have a ranked wrestler at 157, Adam Beyer, but looks like we're not going to see him tonight.
No, he's sitting there in that crutches and a brace on his right leg. Looks like he had some type of surgery, and Bollinger ends up getting the fall there just over a minute.
Yeah, Bollinger's off to a good start. Well, I tell you, Adam Beyer, what a football season he had. He was a go-getter for the Tigers. And, boy, I hope to see him on the mat here maybe after Christmas break. But IA Wrestle did have him ranked at number 10 today at 157. We go up to 175 here, Cody Weaver. And the Panthers now with a big lead here with Bollinger getting that fall. And we're going to get these wrestlers out there. Our introductions and our In Your Corner, brought to you by State Farm. Elvis Haas, your local good neighbor. And at 175 pounds, it's going to be. Get those introductions here in a moment as they square off. 175 for Creston and Red Oak.
Yeah,
Alan Andrew Johnson of Red Oak and Jackson Pettigrew of Creston. Cody,
sophomores, going at it. Collar tie there by Pettigrew of Red Oak. Or excuse me, Johnson of Red Oak. Johnson with a real nice sprawl there, trying to break that lock. Circling around behind here and gets a 2-point.
Nice move.
Right away, drops into a far side cross-face cradle there. Settles in here, needs to get his hips on the left side there, and Pettigrew doing a nice job kind of bellying out there, breaking that lock. Another cradle there attempt, and he's going to get him rolled over here and get a few near fall, and he's going to, you see him doing a nice job continuing circle to that right side and trying to get that shoulder exposed. He puts the leg over now of Pettigrew of Creston there and is going to hold him a little bit longer. Settles in, continues to work around there.
I thought he might try a different move there, but he's going to crank it again.
He's going to hold on to that, and you can see Pettigrew reaching to try to break that lock, and that right arm of Johnson underneath the shoulders of Pettigrew, so there's no danger of exposure there.
Right.
But, Johnson doing a good job as he continued to circle there. He just basically puts a leg over there, and you can see Pettigrew kind of bellying out there. Right away, he goes back to that cradle and
Pettigrew, he was on his back for a long time. Johnson didn't quite have that shoulder blocked. And a 1-point move for Pettigrew, 5-1 here, Cody.
Yeah, and I don't know for sure if he should have had 2 sets of near fall there as he released that cradle at one point and put it back in. But it's 5-1 now. Pettigrew with the outside single shot there. And Johnson did a good job before stuffing that head, and you can see how Pettigrew comes down on his hip there. And Johnson could be in trouble here, and time expires in the first period.
5-1 to Johnson from the Red Oak Tigers with the lead. Red Oak's got 6 points. An impressive Sandholm out there on the mat. Fell short, or was taken down 2-0, but he came back strong and got the fall. Here we go. Second period.
Yeah, Creston's choice there. They defer to the third period. Johnson takes down that bottom position here. You can see kind of a chicken wing there by Pettigrew on the right side of Johnson. Now deep waist, chops that wrist, tries to drive forward, and Johnson doing a good job keeping his hips up in the air, circling out with his hips to the left-hand side. Tries to come up to his feet, and right away Pettigrew kind of tries to put the leg in, but lets that right hip kind of get down on the mat, and Johnson's going to try to come out the back door here as he keeps that leg all the way through. You can see Johnson continue to slide his hips over there.
Oh, wow.
For that 2-point reversal, and he keeps that left leg of Pettigrew's there, goes opposite, kind of opposite half Nelson there, but settles in now. Now he's working on peeling that left wrist out, cross-face cradle, and again, he's probably going to go right back to that cradle. Gets the cradle locked up, it looks like. Kind of goes over the top, though, and you see Pettigrew reaching back through for that leg. And Pettigrew this time doing a good job controlling that wrist, preventing that cradle from getting locked up. 7-1 match now. Johnson and Red Oak with that lead. Gets that cradle locked up and goes right back through. And again, I think if you're Coach Podliska, you've got to be happy with the way, Johnson's wrestling here. 2 sophomores, and again, getting, varsity experience and out there battling. You just want to make a few adjustments on that cradle. That arm isn't underneath, and you see he does a good job, again, continuing to circle there, but that left shoulder is not close to being exposed or down on the mat.
He's going to get 3 back points, though. Yep. It's all said and done with 10 seconds to go here in this second period. Who's got the choice? Third period, did you say?
Creston's choice, third period. But you see he's kind of got himself in trouble here, and Johnson did a good job there readjusting and kind of sucked him back down underneath him. But Pettigrew had a little bit of motion there, and Pettigrew's he wants to go neutral on her feet here to start the third period. So 10-1 right now. And again, Pettigrew had a couple decent shots, but Johnson able to kind of stuff that head and get around behind there for the 2-point takedown.
10-1, Johnson with the lead. Here at 175, we started at 126 pounds. There's a shot by Pettigrew, but he's got to get his head out the outside, and Johnson's going to cross-face out of this one probably.
He's got that close ankle across the face. Pettigrew this time, needs to lower his level, does lower his level, switches to a double. But again, nice sprawl by Johnson, gets Pettigrew's hips broke down and is able to circle around behind there for 2.
Well, Johnson's got the leverage. He's got the height on him. He's long, and he's able to fight off that attempt for that blast double, and great job by Johnson, now up 12-1. Getting some back points here.
Yeah, it's going to be a match here pretty quick. It's 12-1, so still a minute to go here, and Johnson, gets a little bit high there, and that's the 15-1 now is the match. They're going to go out of bounds, and Johnson likes to be a little bit high in the top position there, and Pettigrew a couple times has tried to reach back and pull that, grab the in between the legs there and pull him forward, but not any success there. And you see Johnson kind of trying to pull him over a little bit here, and again a half, and a good job there by Johnson on top, knowing where he's at. That's going to be the match.
15-1, and then the back points, once he lets them back over, that'll be a tech fall. So Johnson picks up 5 points for the Red Oak Tigers, 31-11. The Panthers with all weight classes full, over 30 wrestlers out. The tradition at Creston is just unbelievable, Cody, year after year after year.
Yeah, they continue to build, have a good little kids program, down there, and when you're good and you promote the youth, it brings those kids and makes them want to compete.
They want to be a part of a winner.
So this is Fuller, Creston.
190 pounds in your corner. Brought to you by State Farm, Elvis Haas. Gunnar Martwick of Creston and Caleb Ransom of Red Oak going at it here. In your corner, brought to you by Elvis Haas, State Farm Insurance, your local good neighbor, Cody. 190. Ransom from Red Oak. Martwick from Creston.
A couple sophomores again, which is nice to see. Again, Creston, with 8 seniors on the list here. And doing a nice job on that single, pulling him in, but he's going to get himself almost in trouble and able to come back up, pick it up, and able to finish that shot. So a lot of effort there
by Martwick.
2-point takedown there by Martwick, and you can see he gets a little bit high in that riding position, but he's behind both arms of Ransom there.
We do have the girls going at it here as well, and we don't have any results on our track wrestling feed here yet, but we'll bring you those results as soon as we can get them, as they're competing as well here tonight in Atlantic.
Yeah, opposite half Nelson there by Ransom. Now he's got the right arm barred up. He's going to want to reach around the head, under the arm, lock his wrist with that wrist. Now he readjusts. Ransom does a good job there, bellying back out, getting that wrist back, and you see him kind of pulling those elbows in.
And a pin on the girls' side. They're up to 155. They started at 100. Look, Pettigrew, or Martwick hanging in there here.
Yeah, he's done a good job adjusting on that top side there, just down to 10 seconds here in the first period. So he's going to get 3 near fall. Ransom doing a good job, though, keeping those shoulders from being exposed, and it's close, and time's going to expire. So
3 more back points.
So 5-0 now, Martwick of Creston with that advantage over Ransom of Red Oak.
Creston leading 31-11. We started at 126. We're at 190 now. See if Ransom can get something going for Red Oak here. It's been all Martwick. He came out like a shot. 90 mile an hour. He got that single. Had to pull him back in to get it up 5-0 with those back points.
You see Martwick with the underhook on that. He wants to drop down to a single or inside single there, and Ransom doing a good job trying to get that elbow down, circling in the opposite direction.
Almost looked like he wanted to get a throw off of that.
Kind of a collar tie. There's a shot by Ransom, and he's able to catch that arm and gonna roll him to his back here. So you see him re-scoop, readjust, get more chest on chest there, and get the fall.
There's the fall. Well, Gunnar Martwig puts 6 more points on the board for the Panthers, now up 37-11. And we go to 215 pounds, 215, 285, 106, 13, and 20 yet to wrestle. And coming out at 215 pounds for the Red Oak Tigers and the Creston Panthers. Nolan Perrion of Red Oak at 215, and Quentin Fuller of Creston coming out in your corner, brought to you by State Farm, Elvis Hess. Cody?
Fuller, you talked about where he played football, maybe 245, and he's down to 215, but he's, you can tell, an athletic, quick kid here. Both wrestlers trying to fight for position here. Some head snaps or head attempts there by Fuller. And Perrion doing a good job circling, backing up with his feet movement here. Drops a knee down there, and collar tie there by Perrion. Tries a kind of an elbow pass there. Had him turn, but just couldn't quite get to the leg there. Fuller continues to tap the head there to try to get the movement off. Switches to a double now. Rolls Perrion over. He's going to get a 2-point near fall there, and did a good job there knowing exactly where his knees and feet were on the edge of the mat there. As soon as he got the takedown awarded there, he was out of bounds.
37-11, the Panthers with the lead. The Tigers with a couple of wins. Kyler Sandholm with a pin at 144. And Andrew Johnson with a tech fall at 175. And it is Fuller in control here over Nolan Perrion of Red Oak with a 2-0 lead with less than a minute to go in that first period.
Yeah, Perrion continued to roll right through there. So Fuller did a good job kind of rolling him to his back, and Perrion just kept rolling right back to his stomach. So a little under a minute to go here left in this first period, and Perrion's going to go back down that bottom position and get set. Fuller covers that left side right away, switches deep waist left. Perrion turns and faces, and Fuller takes him right back down to his back here. I'm going to get a near fall count here. Fuller trying to belly out here, but Fuller,
there it is,
Fuller
Cody.
doing a good job.
There it is.
Kind of shoulder right in the middle of the chest and kind of squeezed and locked it up there and got the fall over Perrion of Red Oak.
42-11, the Creston Panthers now really opening up the lead as they go to 285 pounds. We're going to see Max Chapman, ranked number 12 in a class at 2A. He'll be coming out for the Panthers. And for the Red Oak Tigers, coming out, and we've got...
looks like Shriver.
Yep, I think it is.
And Shriver, a freshman, coming out, he's even smiling, looking at Chapman. Chapman's he's a 285-pounder.
See if Scriver, I should say, can hang in here against Max Chapman.
He's got to go out of bounds here and come back to the center. So Chapman, just a man here with this freshman, and kind of covers around behind there, takes him down, and right away goes across, comes out front with that front headlock, scoops the arm up here and going to readjust and gets chest on chest. And Chapman lifting that head up and getting those back points exposed. And the positive is Scriver had fun getting pinned. He comes out with a smile.
Boy. Yeah, he did. 27-second fall for Chapman. He gave the young man a pat on the back as well for coming out. And Scriver, he'll get some experience in that 285. That's tough for a freshman wrestling at 285. 106. We're going to have a forfeit. Creston wins this one. And we'll go to 113 pounds. Panthers up big here over the Red Oak Tigers. Atlantic and Creston will wrestle next. I think we'll have some JV matches in between here, Cody Weaver, as you await the wrestlers here at 113 pounds. So Kylan Parsons Wins by 4 foot for Creston at 106 pounds. In your corner, brought to you by State Farm. Elvis Hass, your local to good neighbor. And at 113, waiting for these wrestlers to come out. We're live video streaming of this double duel tonight on westerniowatoday.com. It's powered by Nishtanet. Just go to our website and you'll find the video, KS957, and you can watch it. Just hook your laptop up to your big screen and you can enjoy high school wrestling tonight. 49-11 at Creston with the lead. Now we go to 113 pounds. And we have Javier Ramos from Red Oak and Lane Travis of Creston. That's brought to you by State Farm. Elvis Hass. Here we go, Cody.
And Ramos of Red Oak, you can tell not a lot of experience there. But, he's out there on the mat, putting in the work. You have to respect that. And Travis there with the takedown. Gets the back exposure there. Has the right arm there. Ramos, you can see, kind of bellied in, turns and faces now, comes back up to his feet. Double leg takedown there and takes him right back down to his back. He rolled over, so 2 near fall there. Travis of Creston there, another double leg, turns and faces. Trying to work on peeling an arm out. Looks like he's going to let Ramos back up to his feet here. Ramos comes up and faces. Right away, Travis inside the leg there. Chops, and you can hear Coach Downing say, hey, go to work on top here. A little under a minute to go here in the first period. 12-3 right now, and back exposure here, and looks like Travis gets the fall over Ramos of Red Oak.
61-11 at Panthers with the lead with 120 pounds to go. Travis with the fall for Creston. So we'll go to 120 pounds. We'll see. I think we've got a match here. We'll see if the Tigers. No, I believe they're going to be open at 120.
He said open at 120, and this will be. If this is Christian Ahrens, he's gotten taller from last year. And this is a kid that, Smith scrapped with quite a few times last year, and he's up to 20 from 13, and Smith is up to 26 or 32.
Ahrens at 120, ranked number 4 in the state for Creston. Not sure this is Ahrens, but we'll see as he's ready to come out, and he'll be uncontested here at 120 pounds. That'll make it a 67-11 win for the Creston Panthers here in the duel against the Red Oak Tigers. And that will be it here. So Atlantic and Creston will wrestle next, and that is Christian Ahrens, Cody. He does look a little bit different, doesn't he?
He's taller. And he's a kid that, cradle, and he gave, I think, Smith everything he wanted that first match, and Smith made some adjustments and, kind of handled it the rest of the year, but it caught him off guard for sure.
67-11, the final in favor of the Creston Panthers. We're going to take a 2-minute timeout, and we'll recap the Creston Red Oak matchup. But first, we're back right after these at 95.7 FM and live video streamed at westerniowatoday.com, powered by Nishtanet.
At Outfitters Plus in Atlantic, you'll find all the latest in custom apparel and headwear. Head to Outfitters and work with the design pros to make your customized tees, team apparel, and personalized swag for your business a reality. Whether it's fan apparel for your high school or youth sports teams, your business, or you just want to make something your own, you'll have everyone saying, "Where'd you get that?" Don't forget, Outfitters will also add your group store online to make ordering a breeze. Get personalized at Outfitters Plus Outlet Store in Atlantic. Stop by today.
Rolling Hills Bank and Trust.
Here at Rolling Hills Bank and Trust, we're dedicated to agriculture. That's why we offer various services that fit your growing ag needs. All our decisions are made locally by experienced lenders that truly understand the unique challenges of your operation. We're large enough to handle all your lending needs, yet small enough not to lose that personal touch. Our dedicated loan officers want to work with you to help your operation grow and thrive. Feel free to stop in and talk about how we can help your business succeed. Rolling Hills Bank and Trust.
At 2nd Street Auto, it's our mission to get you back on the road fast. And it all starts with free local towing. Once you're back at the shop, we talk you through your car repair with a free and fair estimate. We do everything in-house so you know who's working on your car. Our Hercules tires come with free road hazard repair, free rotation for the life of the tires, and a free alignment check. and nobody can beat our transmission rebuild and repair experts. Brakes, tune-ups, oil changes, preventative maintenance, and service work make 2nd Street your first stop.
Colton, with you more involved with farming, what have you observed?
Farmers don't just work harder, they farm smarter.
We've definitely seen that with the Enlist weed control system.
Oh yeah, application is dictated by the grow stage, not a set date on the calendar, and you can take mix with liberty.
Plus, you have a post program that you don't have to worry about drifting into neighboring fields.
Nailed it. To learn more, contact the Seed Pros.
The Seed Pros, with you from the word go.
The Seed Pros, Mark Van Tagger, Gary Dinklet, Nick Knutson, and John Becker.
7 and live streamed at westerniowatoday.com.
Welcome back to Atlantic as we wrap up that first duel between from Red Oak and the Creston Panthers. And it was Creston dominating 67-11. They are rock solid again this season. We take a look at what happened. We started 126. Broderick Phelps came out for Creston and won by a 4-foot. And then Lincoln Keeler added to that at 132 for the Panthers over Joshua Lorette. He won by a 9-1 major decision. That gave the Panthers a 10-0 lead. But the Tigers got a good effort from Kyler Sandholm as he won by a fall and 227 over Carson Reek. And the Tigers got on the board. It was 10-6. Brandon Briley, in the meantime, as we mentioned, beat Joshua Lorette 9-1. And then Austin Evans of Creston won by a 4-foot at 150. And Milo Staver of Creston won by a pin at 1 minute and 50 seconds over Sergio Villanueva. William Bollinger of Creston 165, winning by a fall at 102 over Baz Clear. And at 175, it was Red Oak's Andrew Johnson over Jackson Pettigrew of Creston by a tech fall 18-1. And that took 5 minutes and 21 seconds. At 190, Gunnar Martrick of Creston over Caleb Branson of Red Oak by a fall at 247. And at 215, Quentin Ford of Creston over Nolan Perrion of Red Oak by a fall at 126. And at 285, Max Chapman of Creston over Jared Scrivers of Red Oak by a fall in 26 seconds. We moved to 106. Kylan Parsons of Creston won by a 4-foot at 113. Lane Travis of Creston beat Javier Ramos by a fall at 116. And at 120, it was Christian Aarons, 4th ranked for the Panthers, winning by a 4-foot. The final score, 67-11. Creston over Red Oak here tonight in that first of 3 duels we're going to have. JV match is going on right now, but we've got to get back, Cody Weaver, to the match of the meet here between Red Oak and Creston. And we'll have that match of the meet coming up right after this. Our sponsor is Elvis Haas State Farm Insurance. So we're back with the match of the meet right after this.
That wrestler in the corner is dedicated and determined to work as hard as he can for his team. His drive and perseverance comes from his core. Now, wouldn't it be nice to have an insurance agent do the same for you and be on your team? Here at Elvis Haas State Farm, we're in your corner to help you with your insurance on your auto, home, farm, business, life, and financial services. We help you understand your insurance and show you the benefits of bundling all of your coverages with just one company. Put us on your team here at Elvis Haas State Farm, 1/2 block west of the courthouse, or call 712-243-4824.
Now, back to Atlantic Trojan Sports on KS 95.7 and live stream at westerniowatoday.com.
Welcome back to Atlantic. We're getting to that match of the meet. It's brought to you by State Farm. Elvis Haas, your local good neighbor. Cody, as we looked at those matches, I know you mentioned the one coming out there, and what one do you, I mean?
I would say, the match between Sandholm and
Reek
was the match. And, Reek kind of came out, took him down there, and Sandholm didn't panic. And again, Reek probably not used to somebody reaching back and everything, but Sandholm knows where he's at. He reaches back to the head, kind of sits back into you, and then turns and comes up from behind there. And Sandholm ended up winning that by fall. But, throughout part of that first period, it was a pretty even match.
So that's going to be our match of the meet, brought to you by State Farm and Elvis Haas. And we have JV matches going on right now on both the girls and the boys, and then we'll be back to the varsity matches here. We'll take another 2-minute timeout, and we'll be back with more from Atlantic on 95.7 FM on our live video stream on WesternIowaToday.com. It's powered by Nishnanet.
Get to the Super Bowl for Globe Bowling on Friday and Saturday nights. Perfect for birthdays, reunions, family and friend get-togethers, and date nights. They even have bumpers and ramps for the little ones. Globe Bowling, all the glow-in-the-dark fun you love. Plus, the friendly competition of bowling makes for a great night. Call Dan to schedule your next party at 243-4656. Globe Bowling on Friday and Saturday nights at the Super Bowl, Highway 71 in Atlantic.
Gas prices got you down? Need a ride to work or the grocery store? There's public transportation for everyone in Southwest Iowa. SWAT offers taxi service in Atlantic, Glenwood, Harlan, Missouri Valley, Red Oak, and Shenandoah. $2.50 each way or $2 for seniors 60 years and older. Just call 1-800-842-8065 or visit SWATA.com to schedule your ride.
Are you ready to be part of something bigger? I'm Myron Stein, president of Stein Seed Company. We're seeking exceptional individuals like you to join our team as independent sales representatives. If you're passionate about agriculture, ready to make a difference, and want unlimited earning potential, join the Stein team as an ISR. To learn more about open positions near you, contact your local Stein RSA, Darren Petty, at area code 712-249-5884.
That wrestler in the corner is dedicated and determined to work as hard as he can for his team. His drive and perseverance comes from his core. Now, wouldn't it be nice to have an insurance agent do the same for you and be on your team? Here at Elvis Haas State Farm, we're in your corner to help you with your insurance on your auto, home, farm, business, life, and financial services. We help you understand your insurance and show you the benefits of bundling all of your coverages with just one company. Put us on your team here at Elvis Haas State Farm, 1/2 block west of the courthouse, or call 712-243-4824.
Now, back to Atlantic Trojan Sports.
Hey, welcome back to wrestling action here in Atlantic tonight.
At WesternIowaToday.com.
Girls wrestling and boys wrestling here on two mats. A nice crowd on hand, and it's a great time of year. And the JV boys going on right now, and of course we'll have the varsity taking the mats here. I believe it's going to be Creston Atlantic in that second duel, and you usually go by what team has to travel the furthest, and they get their matches done, and they head home. And so it'll be Atlantic Creston next, and that Creston team really outstanding.
Yeah, not Draven. I'm watching Draven Smith out on the match. Coach Duff said it would be Creston Red Oak, or Atlantic Creston, and then Atlantic Red Oak. So we will see those two come out, and I think you have to have a 45-minute kind of gap in between matches. So you've got to do that a little bit, and we're going to have a little bit of blood time here for Creston. Good JV match coming out. Creston came out, took Smith down from Atlantic there, and then Smith able to reverse and kind of get him on his back, but Creston able to kind of roll back off there. So 2-2 match here with 1:01 to go in the first period.
And we've got the SWAT now. They're going to be going at it against Highway 34. If we could get some of those names, Cody, we could bring you some of those matches before we get back on that boys' side. See if we can grab the lineup here. SWAT and Highway 34. SWAT is Nottoway Valley.
Let's see if we can catch that map on the girls here. And
it's 120 pounds is where they're going to come out at here. And SWAT has Cades Kenzie listed.
Yeah, it's just a freshman. I mean, she's had a successful wrestling career so far, so it looks like I'm not sure what they're doing here, if they have to wait time or...
They might have to wait. As Galanakis coming out, I believe, for Highway 34, but Galanakis came back and told her opponent, well, wait a minute. I think I'll see you later.
See you in about 5 minutes.
In 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Yeah, we've got to wait for the times here. So, again, JV going on right now on the boys' side. We can pick up some of those as well. And Atlantic will be at that Council Bluffs tournament Friday and Saturday. That's a great tourney. And that'll be again tomorrow night into Saturday. Teams from all over Midwest that come to that tournament. Cody, you've had boys wrestle in that, and it's a good one.
Yeah, several states. I mean, if you can place in the top 8 there, you're going to be a state place winner for sure. It's a tough tournament. You know, you see state champs that, you know, from multiple states that come there, and everybody goes there for one reason. That's competition to see where you're at. You're going to get, you know, probably 5 matches on Friday and 5 on Saturday, so it's a lot of matches there in 2 days. It's a kind of a late night on Friday and early morning on Saturday, but you're going to be wore out by Saturday night for sure.
It's like a mini state tournament, as you mentioned, and the idea is to get into the gold, right? I mean, you've got the gold division on Saturday and the silver division, and the idea is to get there.
So you have a gold, a silver, and maybe even a bronze, because there's usually, you know, so many teams there that there's sometimes it's a 32-man bracket in the gold and a 32 in the silver, and depending upon how you do Friday is how you're placed on Saturday. So
still rolling with JV right now, and we've got Atlantic and Creston, a JV match on the right side here, and our video pointed towards Creston Atlantic match JV on our left as well. It was a 67-11 win for the Panthers over the Red Oak Tigers in that first duel. And we started 126, but we'll start at 106 on the results. Kylan Parsons won by a 4-foot for Creston. Lane Travis won by a fall in 1 minute and 16 seconds over Javier Ramos. Christian Aarons of Creston won by a 4-foot at 120. At 126, Broderick Phelps of Creston, he won by a 4-foot. Then we had contested matches from here on out. At 132, Lincoln Keeler of Creston, he came out and he won by a 14-2 major decision over Dayton Gutzman from Red Oak. Brandon Briley of Creston looked impressive with a major decision 9-1 over Joshua Lorette. And at 144, Kyler Sandholm of Red Oak won by a fall at 227 over Carson Reek of Creston. And at 150, Austin Evans won by a 4-foot over the Red Oak Tiger, unknown for Red Oak here, and won by a 4-foot. 157, Milo Staver of Creston won by a fall in 1 minute and 50 seconds over Sergio Villanueva. And at 165, William Bollinger of Creston won by a fall in 102 over Baz Clear. Andrew Johnson for Red Oak resting at 175. He won by a tech fall. 18-1 and 5-21 over Jackson Pettigrew of Creston. At 190, Gunnar Markrick of Creston over Caleb Ransom. Red Oak at a fall at 247. And at 215, Quentin Fuller of Creston over Nolan Perrin of Red Oak by a fall at 126. And at 285, Max Chapman of Creston over Jared Scrivers from Red Oak by a fall at 26 seconds. Scrivers, keep in mind, just a freshman. We're going to see maybe one of the big matches in the Creston Atlantic will be Chapman and Sorensen. Your thoughts on that? Sure. Chapman's got a lot of weight on Sorensen, too.
Yeah, Chapman, he's a 285er, and I would guess Sorensen, you know, maybe 235, 240, and it's going to be a battle because what Sorensen doesn't have in weight, he's going to give up in, you know, attitude and fight. So,
no doubt about that.
You know, you look at that duel, you know, it'd be nice to move some kids around at that 126, potentially, you know, move Haas up and wrestle Haas up to wrestle Christian Aarons, who's rated, and then move Smith up to wrestle Keeler and kind of leave the weight in the middle open, but not sure what'll happen there.
Running through some JV matches. We're going to take a 1-minute timeout, and we'll be back right after these on 95.7 FM and our live video stream at westerniowatoday.com, powered by Nishternet.
This segment of Did You Know by Amy Jo is about hydraulic hoses. Well, guess what? They break. And at the worst times possible, too. Atlantic Egg and Auto can build you a new hydraulic hose most of the time faster than it takes you to even get to town. Now, don't be getting a ticket racing to town to see me. Since you're here, you might as well get more hydraulic fluid, shop towels, detailing supplies, and fresh cab to keep those rodents out. Atlantic and Audubon Egg and Auto, your only locally owned CarQuest Auto Parts stores.
After years of wondering why I see more runners than other athletes, I figured it out. Well, a sophomore hurdler explained it to me. This is Dr. Fritz Beyer of Body Basics Chiropractic, and he told me since my hip started acting up, I lost 1 second from my time. 1 second in a 55-second race is less than 2%, but he knew it instantly because the stopwatch told him. In other sports, there's not a stopwatch to tell you when the nagging injury takes 2% from you. To make sure you're giving your 100%, call 254-BODY to get your body back to the basics.
Cass Health in Atlantic, Iowa is a nationally recognized hospital, and we are proud of the awards and all of our recent accomplishments. But do you know what drives us to be the very best? You. We're passionate about helping our patients heal and feel their very best at any age and any stage of life. Cass Health, neighbors caring for neighbors.
Elkhart Plastics in Atlantic has a career opportunity for you. They're currently looking to hire first and second shift oven operators, first shift assemblers, and maintenance personnel, along with competitive pay and shift differential offered for second shift. Elkhart Plastics offers medical, dental, vision, company-paid life and disability plans, as well as vacation, paid holidays, education reimbursement, and retirement savings plans. Go to myersindustries.com/careers to view openings and fill out an application. Elkhart Plastics is an equal opportunity and affirmative action employer.
First Winnie Bank is the longest standing locally owned bank in Atlantic, and as such, we take pride in how we serve our community. For generations, we have been involved with our customers and their families by getting involved in community events and by supporting technology and teaching financial literacy in our schools. You'll also see our support of athletics on the scoreboards at home events. It's this involvement that allows us to know our customers and their families for generations. First Winnie Bank, the only bank you'll ever need. Member FDIC.
The perfect companion is waiting for you at the Fish Store and Pet Center in Atlantic. Pick out a furry guinea pig, hamster, or mouse. Maybe something feathered. They have an aviary full of birds to choose from. What about something scaly, like a snake, lizard, or hermit crab? And it's in their name. A wide variety of fish are available at the Fish Store and Pet Center. Get all the food and accessories you need to keep that new addition to your family happy and healthy. The Fish Store and Pet Center in Atlantic, a pet lover's paradise.
Atlantic Trojan Sports on KS 95.7 and live streamed at westerniowatoday.com.
Welcome back. We're in between matches right now, waiting for the Atlantic Creston varsity teams to take to the mat. This is several duels are going on here tonight. It's the Trojans with Creston, Red Oak, and Atlantic. And, of course, we have the SWAT Valkyrie with Highway 34. And also Red Oak wrestling here. We try to catch maybe some other of the matches. But Creston boys winning that first one over Red Oak by the score of 67-11. An impressive Panther team once again this season. And they won that first match pretty big. We'll take a look at maybe some of the other duels that we have going on right now here around the area here tonight. ACGC, Coon Rapids, Bayard, I-35, and Lennox. They're also wrestling here this evening. Interstate 35 beating ACGC by the score of 59-23 in that match. And it was Finn Billheimer of ACGC winning by a fall at 106. Chase Slaybaugh for the Chargers by a fall at 342. Tegan Slaybaugh of ACGC won by a forfeit at 120. And Gavin Sloss, ACGC, and Michael Up of I-35. That was a tech fall there in that match. And then I-35 really got to go at 132. Nick Pizzuti of I-35 won by a fall. Corbin Maxwell at 138 for the Roadrunners, winning by a fall. Jace Maxwell of I-35 winning by a tech fall. Henry Gellner of I-35 also with a win at 150 by a fall. And Angel Martinez of ACGC came back with a win at 157, won by a fall. Otherwise, I-35 getting wins from Bodie Stanley at 165, and also Caden Bush at 175 by a fall. Michael Fuller of ACGC winning by a fall at 190 for the Chargers. Eli Green of I-35 over Carter Richter of ACGC by a fall at 158. And at 285 is Peyton Jacoby of ACGC winning by a forfeit. So the Chargers with a battle with I-35. The Roadrunners beat ACGC 59-23 in that duel there. That's a quad tonight with ACGC and I-35. Also Lennox, I believe Lennox is there in that match as well. And ACGC coming out big in that one, 72-11. With the win here. And now ACGC will take on a Coon Rapids Bayard. And that's early in that match. It's 12-0 in favor of the Chargers. Chase Slaybaugh winning by a forfeit at 113. Tegan Slaybaugh beating Cole Kretzinger of Coon Rapids Bayard by a fall in 35 seconds. And at 126, Johnny Cortez of CRB wrestling Gavin Sloss of ACGC as we speak. Set us up with this Creston Atlantic duel coming up here. Cody Weaver is. Granted, Atlantic's going to have some open weights. They're going to have a half a dozen open weights probably here. But, boy, we saw Atlantic and Earlham. And Earlham is ranked, by the way, in the dual rankings here as of late. I believe in that maybe 12th. So Earlham is a good opponent. Atlantic won 7 of those 8 contested matches. So they have some quality people, just some of those open weights. Your thoughts?
Yeah, and the eighth match was we were up 6-1 and kind of got caught there. Yeah. So for the most part, those young kids, those freshmen, the kids that you expect to win won, and the young kids, you don't know what to expect from them, but they competed hard and did everything that they needed to do really to win those matches, with the exception of one. And that's a good learning lesson for a kid, especially a freshman early in the season like this.
Well, when you look at the lineup, Atlantic has Tate Jordan at 106, senior wrestling at 106. He's going to have a pretty good match with Kyle Parsons. And Parsons, a sophomore. Haas he'll have Lane Travis in that, and there's a sophomore against sophomore there at 120 pounds. Aiden Smith and Broderick Phelps. Phelps won by a 4-foot. That could be an interesting matchup.
Yeah, Travis, we saw wrestle Ramos and kind of dominated that match. Ramos not with a lot of experience. Jordan coming in as a senior. Parsons is a kid that's a name of wrestlers that have been at 106 or through 120 kind of, it seems like, for the last 8 years. So we'll go to 120 and I imagine we'll be open. And then you see Smith and at 126 there taking on Phelps, and then it'll be Jaden Harder, the freshman, taking on Keeler at Creston. And Harder's a kid that continues to work. He's not going to give up, and Keeler took on Gussman there, so should be a competitive match. You see Draven Smith there at 138 going up against Brandon Briley. Smith is who we just watched wrestle in the JV.
Yeah.
That kind of went back and forth and ended up getting a fall there.
Captains are meeting right now for Atlantic and Creston. The Panthers beat Red Oak 67-11. We're going to start at 132. Cody Weaver here in this matchup. 132 pounds is where we'll start with Atlantic and Creston here coming up in this dual meet. Again, Coach Duff talking about the Panthers called in the premier team in Southwest Iowa. I don't believe Creston is ranked in the dual rankings as of late from IE Wrestle. Glenwood is, though, and Glenwood's got a number of top-ranked wrestlers.
Yeah, and for the Creston's got some top-ranked wrestlers, and you've got a senior class of 8, that starts for this team. So you've got 8 seniors, and 4 sophomores. So pretty, old. As far as team-wise, as far as a high school team anyway. So they're a team that, like Coach Duff says, gets better and better throughout the year also. And so it looks like Keeler coming out here at 132, and for Atlantic it's going to be Jaden Harder, and it looks like they're waiting for a little bit of time before they get started here.
As they do, we'll keep it right here as the girls matches are over now. It's going to be Highway 34 and SWAT. They'll be going at it here in just a little bit there on the girls' side as well. And Atlantic hosting. This has kind of been a traditional early season matchup, Cody. We've done this double duel a lot in the past few years.
And it's nice to have the girls have never been part of it until this year. And Highway 35, they've got almost a full team, and SWAT has almost a full team, so that'll be a good duel between those two.
Wait for a little bit of time. That first one went pretty quick. We had several pins in that first duel, and now Atlantic and Creston will be taken to the mat here. Atlantic will end up, and they'll wrestle the Red Oak Tigers in the finale. Well, we're going to step away here for just a little bit as we take this time out. We owe you station identification as well. We'll be back in 2 minutes as we get started here with the Atlantic Creston, a matchup here on 95.7 FM and our live video stream, westerniowatoday.com, powered by Nishnanet. We're back right after these.
Hi everyone, this is Caitlin from your Atlantic Hy-Vee. Start your day off right and let us take care of breakfast. We have so much to choose from eggs, sausage, bacon, pancakes, and so much more. We are available 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. daily. Stop in and enjoy. Have you ordered your holiday packs yet? Leave all the holiday craziness to us. Stop in or give Crystal a call today to get your pack ordered. And don't forget, we also have in our meat department, you buy a ham and get a free turkey. That's right, you buy a ham and you get a free turkey. Thank you as always for shopping your Atlantic Hy-Vee.
Olson's Outdoor Power is your one-stop service and equipment shop for all things outdoor. We sell the best power sports products in the business, from Polaris, Can-Am, Sea-Doo, and Ski-Doo, trailers to tackle any job from H&H, Triton, and Wilson, and we continue to lead the way in lawn and garden equipment with great products from Exmark, Dixie Chopper, Husqvarna, Cub Cadet, Steel, and Echo. Add factory-trained technicians in 2 locations, and it's easy to see why Olson's Outdoor Power is the leader in all things outdoor. Olson's Outdoor Power, your one-stop service and equipment shop with locations in Atlantic and Carroll.
At Outfitters Plus in Atlantic, you'll find all the latest in custom apparel and headwear. Head to Outfitters and work with the design pros to make your customized tees, team apparel, and personalized swag for your business a reality. Whether it's fan apparel for your high school or youth sports teams, your business, or you just want to make something your own, you'll have everyone saying, "Where'd you get that?" Don't forget, Outfitters will also add your group store online to make ordering a breeze. Get personalized at Outfitters Plus Outlet Store in Atlantic. Stop by today.
Rolling Hills Bank and Trust.
Here at Rolling Hills Bank and Trust, we're dedicated to agriculture. That's why we offer various services that fit your growing ag needs. All our decisions are made locally by experienced lenders that truly understand the unique challenges of your operation. We're large enough to handle all your lending needs, yet small enough not to lose that personal touch. Our dedicated loan officers want to work with you to help your operation grow and thrive. Feel free to stop in and talk about how we can help your business succeed. Rolling Hills Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Fleece, and more, all ready to personalize. So while you're out making that Christmas list and mapping out your shopping trip, make sure your first stop is Outfitters Plus Outlet Store in Atlantic for your one-of-a-kind and personalized Christmas gifts. Outfitters Plus Outlet Store on the east edge of Atlantic and at the top of everyone's Christmas list.
And welcome back as we're getting set for the Atlantic Creston duel coming up here in just a little bit here on 95.7 FM. Also on our live video stream, westerniowatoday.com.
You're just waiting, for the time here between these matches, and, it's 7 o'clock, so that first one lasted an hour and a half, but with the girls wrestling and the JV, matches wrestling, it's going to be late for some of these groups, and then we've got to wrestle Red Oak, after this, so it's going to be an all-nighter deal. So it looks like we're ready to go here now. And Lincoln Keeler's coming over, and Jaden Harder's going to come over and get checked in here at the head table. And it'll be Keeler against Harder here. And so Keeler gets that red band on, gets ready to go here at 132 pounds, and it's going to be Harder of Atlantic here. So Harder down from 38 to 32 with Smith dropping there, and Keeler reaches in for that single here, and Harder gets ankle picked there and tries to scramble out of it here, does a nice job stuffing the head, and Keeler is going to get that 2-point takedown, covers the top here, and right away goes for the chicken wing on that left-hand side, and Harder kind of bellied out here, and Keeler riding kind of both wrists on top there, got the leg locked up. Harder's trying to build a base there, and Keeler continues to drive forward. Keeler now, again, working on that left side, but that deep waist has kind of got Harder tight there, and looks like he's got a chicken wing on that left side now, reaches across that opposite wrist. And now he goes underhook, and he's going to try to walk around the head here now. And Harder doing a good job posting that outside arm, but Keeler's going to roll him over here for some near fall. And
Keeler ranked coming in, and he's going to get some. Oh, here we go, Cody. We might get a reversal here.
See Harder he does get a. Doesn't have control, but he needs to step through the legs there. Keeler continues to drive in here, and Harder needs to use those hips and breaks that lock and kind of comes around behind here and has a cradle locked up on Keeler. Keeler kind of crawling out. You see Harder adjusting, pulling him into the center of the mat here, and Keeler scooting out. It should be a stall call on Keeler there, Creston. So nice job by Keeler there with that Harder there with that reversal. But, before that, Keeler had that chicken wing in and got 3 near falls. So it's 5-2 now, 24 to go here. Harder adjusts here, gets a cradle locked up, but Keeler kind of sits through and catches Harder on his back, and Harder's in trouble here, and it's tight. Got 15 seconds to fight here, and again, kind of gets caught here, and you can see that Harder's not good job there by Keeler following through here, and Harder did a good job there getting out of that, getting a reversal there and kind of catching Keeler on, and he'll run it. Harder being here at 32 is going to realize that some of these kids are just strong, and he gets himself caught there. And it's kind of the same thing happened earlier, against Earlham. He was up 6-1 and, just got caught there. And it's something that he's going to work on as we go forward.
Well, it's 6-0 Creston gets that pin as Lincoln Keeler over Jaden Harder. And we move up to 138 pounds. 32 will be a
38's a forfeit there for Creston. They originally had kind of Draven Smith in there, but he wrestled the JV match. So this is going to be Calvin Hayes now coming out against Reek of Creston here, senior.
So here we go at 144 pounds.
It's got some background. There you go. That's good.
And 12-0 Panthers with the lead here, Cody Weaver.
Yeah, I mean, with that fall that Creston got and then the forfeit, those points add up, quite a bit there. And, Reek is who we saw wrestle Sandholm and came out and did a good job here. So, I imagine you'll see Hayes maybe move down to 38 eventually, but still is at 44 right now. Both wrestlers kind of work their way back towards the center here. Outside single shot there. A nice whizzer and a toss there by Hayes, and we're going to come back to the center here with 30 seconds gone in this first period. Collar tie there, and Hayes doing a good job controlling that. Drops down to a single, needs to come up off his knee, come up and elevate. You see him working that left arm up and shelving that. He's got to pull him in the center here, pulls him into the center here and get that trip and bring him back down to the mat. But there's a nice whizzer there by Reek. So Calvin needs to go opposite direction here, brings that down. Now he circles back this way, shuck that left arm through. There he goes for two, but no points awarded, and Reek doing a good job coming up to his feet there and kind of sprawling out of that. Now Hayes working on a fireman's here, opposite ankle there, but Hayes is, in trouble here, and Reek kind of follows through and hooks that ankle, and they're going to try to call it a takedown there. Creston folks are wanting a takedown as Reek did a nice job scooting behind there and hooking that ankle, but they were out of bounds. So competitive match here, so far by both wrestlers. So we're down to 30 to go here now in the first period. No score, no points awarded yet here. And Reek doing a good job trying to set up those shots, and Hayes doing a good job blocking that. Hayes now goes in for a double, works his way up here for
nice job.
Takedown.
Nice job by Hayes.
Yeah, and a deep waist there on that right side, by Hayes, and working on an arm bar on that left side. It's time short here, and just ride this out, and go into the second period with that 2-point advantage.
Creston up 12-0, and Hayes battling here.
And it'll be Hayes' choice here, and he's going to go down in here to start the second period with that 2-0 advantage, and Hayes is down and set. Reek covers that right side right away. Hayes kind of comes up a little bit, comes back down to his base. Reek trying to work maybe a deep waist on the right side. You can see him doing inside thigh pry there with that right arm. And Hayes just needs to come up and get his head up off the mat there and come up. He sits out a little bit. Reek trying to suck him back in, and Hayes doing a good job staying on his base there, and Reek working on that left arm, 2-on-1, kind of reaches between the leg here for a ball and chain, drives forward here. Hayes up to his feet here, trying to turn and face, and Reek tries to be right there on the edge, and a nice escape there by Hayes there, 40 seconds into his second period. So Hayes in on another single. You see him try to come out the back door here. Comes out for another takedown. Hayes there working on that right side. Right arm there tied up of Reek. And whether he tries a tilt here or a run through, you see him tucking that, but kind of a suicide tilt. And he's got to be careful He's got to be careful. He rolls him through, but not able to quite catch him in that bread basket there. And Hayes doing a good job scooting those hips. Has a chicken wing there in the right side. Reaches through that left side. And Reek doing a good job posting that opposite side. They're going to call potentially dangerous here. And really, there's no danger in the arm. It's just where the arm of Hayes was at there. So 30 to go here now. An escape there by Hayes in the second period and a takedown with 30 to go here in the second period.
Hayes covering and battling well as a freshman.
He needs to return him the mat. He's going to get called for stalling here pretty quick. And he's able to return him here, and he catches that arm right away for that chicken wing. He gets that settled in. He's got 15 to work here, and can't quite get that opposite arm. He's going to drive forward. He just needs to step forward here. But Reek too strong, posted it outside left leg there, preventing from getting rolled over. But he'll end up on top here. And we'll go into the third period. It'll be Creston's choice here. And Creston looks like they want to go neutral on their feet here. So Hayes has had 2 takedowns so far. And we start here the third period here. 5-0 right now. Hayes with that advantage here at 144 pounds. Reek in there with a shot. Hayes doing a good job catching that wrist. A whizzer there by Hayes. Hooks that left arm in, or hooks his right leg. Post out. Again, you see him reaching. He needs to push away with his hands there. Get his hips back. Kind of reaches across, works the opposite direction. He needs to continue to circle here. But Reek is down on those right hips. Hayes is able to grab that knee back behind there, circle around behind here for another 2-point takedown. So it's 7-0 match now. Wow. And Hayes continues to work. You can see Reek posting with that hips, that right side hip, and Hayes really needs to get that chest right in the middle of his chest as he drives forward. You see him trying to adjust that. And he's going to roll him over here and try to get some near fall. Just needs to take big steps here and adjust and catch him.
Oh,
and he
boy.
catches him on his back here. Settles in. He needs to settle here, chest on chest. He's going to get enough here for a 2-point near fall anyway, maybe 3 it looks like. So a good job by Hayes there adjusting with 45 to go here. Hayes keeps that arm tied up, releases that hand there for 3, so it's 10-0 match now. And Hayes needs to continue to dominate the match and control the match here. And if you're Reek, you want to get out of the bottom here. You don't like to be ridden the second period, the first period and the third period, and you're going to want to try to do something. But you know what you need to work on here, and Hayes continues to drive on that chicken wing, but you can see Reek kind of coming out of that, able to pivot that shoulder through there. We're down to 10 to go here now in the third period, and Hayes knowing where he's at, probably not for sure time-wise, but he's going to keep Reek. You can see him do a good job sucking him back in bounds there, and it's going to be potentially dangerous, but the match is over. So that's a great win for Hayes, a freshman there from Atlantic over Reek, a senior at Creston.
So a good win for Hayes for Atlantic. And it's now
12-4.
12-4, the Trojans. How about that? Hayes was a freshman, really came out and wrestled well for the Trojans. Calvin Hayes over Carson Reek by a 10-0 major decision. Lincoln Keeler, 132, defeated Jaden Hart of Atlantic by a pin at 151. Brandon Briley won by a forfeit at 138. And Hayes now with a win for Atlantic over Reek. And we go to 150 pounds. In Your Corner is brought to you by Elvis House, the State Farm Insurance. Elvis House, your local good neighbor, State Farm Insurance. So we get to 150 pounds. Austin Evans will come out for the Panthers. And Atlantic is open at 150 pounds. Atlantic will be open at 157 as well here.
Yeah, that was 157. We're at 165, and it's going to be a forfeit again for, looks like they're bringing out a different kid here. They're moving Bollinger up.
Yep. So Austin Evans wins by a forfeit at 150. Milo Stavo wins by a forfeit at 157. And now at 165, it was Jackson Pettigrew winning by a forfeit. And we go to 175, and we're going to have a match here as Donovan Hedrington will be wrestling for Atlantic at 175, and they're going to move up. I believe Evans is what you're saying, Cody.
No, this is this is Bollinger here.
Okay, Bollinger's
for
going to
Atlantic,
wrestle.
so he's going to move. He's going to move from 65 up to 75 is what they're going to do. They put somebody else in, Pettigrew, in there. Pettigrew maybe went out for the forfeit at 65, or they're moving Pettigrew up here. So this is Donovan Hedrington taking on Bollinger. Bollinger, senior. Bollinger, just a strong kid, drops in on a single right away, catches Donovan on his hip. Donovan did a good job scooting the hips, but Bollinger able to come around behind here and keeps the knee kind of tied up there, and cross face right away, drives forward, deep waist on the left. Looks like he's got working cross face here, cross face cradle. Donovan doing a good job controlling that front wrist of Bollinger, but Bollinger working those legs, trying to get that right leg in, and working on a cross-face cradle here by Bollinger, and they're going to go out of bounds and come back to the center.
30-4 Panthers, and they get that big lead with the open weights, but Keeler get a win. And then some open weights for Atlantic. Pettigrew, a 4-foot. Milo Staver, 4-foot. Austin Evans, a 4-foot. Hayes had a good match for Atlantic at 144. Hedrington down here and in trouble.
Yeah, Bollinger, chicken wing, runs that chicken wing, rolls through, but you can see Bollinger settling in there heavy on the hips, and he's got his arm underneath Hedrington, but Hedrington kind of gets sucked back over there. Now Bollinger readjusting, gets him in a half Nelson here, settles in chest on chest, and
that's
a lot of time left here, and Bollinger ends up winning that by fall.
So Bollinger wins by a fall at 113 over Donovan Hedrington of Atlantic. We go to 190 pounds. We're going to have Cole and Bruce of Atlantic coming out. In your corner, brought to you by State Farm. Elvis Hass, your local to good neighbor. And for the Creston Panthers, it
looks like Martwick there for
Martwick. Yep,
Martwick for Creston and Bruce for Atlantic.
Gunnar Martwick of Creston, Cole and Bruce of Atlantic will take the mat here at 190 pounds.
The head level change there, quite a few level changes by Bruce there to kind of snap the head, and Martwick kind of staying stable there and staying set in his position there. Working on inside ties there, both wrestlers. You see Bruce working on the inside tie there. Double leg by Bruce there. Kind of sprawls and gets Martwick doing a good job sprawling though. And Bruce has got to get his hips underneath him there. He can't lay flat, and somehow we lost our scoreboard completely. So.
Oops, it went dark. We get that back lit up again. They're going to go ahead and roll it anyway here, Cody. So you have to keep score with a pad and paper here.
Yeah, it's again, Bruce.
There's no
with
time
Bruce
either,
with
folks.
the shot there. Bruce with the shot there, but he, kind of got caught there. Bruce with the outside single there, able to kind of scoot around, but has not. He does get 2 points awarded here, but Bruce is awful high there in that high position and releases him for a 1 point escape. So it's 2-1 right now. He didn't return him to the mat, but Martwick had both hands down there, so Bruce was awarded that 2 point takedown. So 2-1 right now. Bruce of Atlantic with the advantage over Martwick here at Creston. Martwick, sophomore, and Bruce, a senior. Martwick in on a single leg there and continues to drive, and Bruce does a good job keeping his elbow back there, or his leg back. He's trying to stuff the head there, and Martwick tries to circle around behind here, and Bruce has got the cradle locked up here, and they're going to be no points awarded. So 2-1 still here. Not sure how much time is left. We're ready to go, and started on here, and again Martwick with that shot in that single, and Bruce doing a good job sprawling, getting out of it. Martwick of Creston there continued to drive in, and Bruce kind of got around behind there at the edge of the mat, but they were out of bounds. So Bruce now with the kind of an elbow pass there again is what it kind of got him to that outside single before. Same move that he did before here, and Martwick trying to adjust here. And Bruce goes the opposite direction for a 2-point takedown here, and as time expires here. So 4-1 right now. Bruce with that advantage. It's Creston's choice. Creston, Martwick there. Creston defers, and Bruce will go down that bottom position here to start the second period.
36-4 Panthers with the lead. No score here. Good match.
And Bruce right away kind of comes up and then has to get his head off the mat. And Martwick working on peeling out that left wrist. Bruce kind of comes up, gets almost caught in a cradle there and extends that out. But Martwick, he controls that wrist, and Martwick turns and faces here for an escape. So it should be 5-1 now. Bruce of Atlantic with that advantage here with 30 to go in the second period over Martwick at Creston. A couple takedowns there by Bruce in that first period. Kind of an elbow pass to an outside single. Went the opposite direction that last time to take Martwick down kind of to his rear there and caught him flat. Bruce with the front headlock here, and time's going to right on the edge of the mat here. And Bruce continues to try to push in. Some separation there. Bruce has got working there and kind of work their way back into the center of the mat.
54 seconds left, second quarter.
Kind of the
Bruce,
same,
nice single.
yeah, kind of the same shot that we had there, and Bruce is trying to stuff that head, and Bruce is going to try to come around behind here, but they're going to they award points. Again, Martwick comes up almost in a post, got both hands posted, not necessarily knees on the mat there, but Bruce has control there. We're down to 28 to go here now in the second period. So 7-1 right now, Bruce with that advantage, but Martwick is still in this match at this time, and Bruce releases him with 17 seconds to go. So 7-2 now. Shot there by Martwick. Kind of a counter by Bruce. Good job sprawling by Bruce there. Another shot. Bruce is able to kind of come around behind here as time expires in that second period. So that'll be, and you can see Coach Downing there saying, you've got to either get hands up off the mat or you're taken advantage of here. And Bruce is working for it. He's kind of posting that outside arm, getting to that single. But Martwick here chooses down on that bottom position, and Bruce continues to work. Got a 9-2 advantage here. Now he's working on a chicken wing of Martwick. Tries to get that pulled out there. You see him trying to pull that wrist out, either hook his wrist, gets off to the side now. Martwick posts that outside arm. Bruce has got that outside wrist now. He's got the arm in the chest, and Martwick doing a good job coming up to his base. Bruce breaking him back down. Chicken wing on that left side, deep waist on the right side. Bruce now comes off to the side here, tries to keep that, gets that arm locked up, and Bruce is going to work towards the head, and they're going to call it for potentially dangerous here. And Bruce is just asking for a little bit of clarification. Do I need to keep it down? So we're going to come back to the center, minute 18 to go, 9-2 match. Bruce of Atlantic with the advantage of Martwick of Creston, just a sophomore. Bruce a senior here. Bruce releases them here, and we've seen kind of an elbow pass in that outside single on the right side of Martwick several times. And Bruce able to finish that. Kind of an elbow pass attempt there, a slip. Some separation, down under a minute here now, so 9-3. 6-point here, and as a senior, you need to know that you've got to score 2 here and finish with that 8-point advantage to try to get another major. And Martwick doing a good job there on that sprawl, trying to come around behind here, but you see Bruce really sucking that in, going the opposite direction. Gets his head on the outside, and this probably could be a stalemate as neither wrestler really look like they're taking any advantage. Martwick now opposite ankle there, able to break Bruce down on that left hip. Come around behind here with 20 to go. Bruce has got to cross-face cradle there by Martwick attempt. Bruce grabbing that wrist. Bruce kind of balled up there on bottom, comes up to his feet here, tries to come out the back door, catches Martwick, and he's going to get 1-point escape here with 2 to go here, so 10-5 right now. with 2.3 to go. So it's going to be just a decision for Bruce over Martwick at Creston there. So it's going to be 36-7 now, team score. Creston with that advantage. We're going to go to 2:15 where Atlantic is open. It'll be Quentin Fuller coming out for Creston to take that forfeit. And at 2:85, it's going to be Chapman taking on Sorensen of Atlantic here. So it'll be 40-7 now, and here comes Chapman of Creston here and Sorensen of Atlantic. Sorensen gets that green band then off to the side and gets ready, and Chapman of Creston gets checked in here. So we're ready to go here at 2:85, and it's going to be Sorensen Jr. taking on senior Max Chapman. And Chapman's a big kid. We talked about him being, roughly 285 here, and he pushes in here and tries to drop to a single here, and Sorensen drops in, and you see Chapman kind of going underhook on Sorensen here and picks Sorensen up and returns him to the mat for the 2-point takedown. Right away, kind of goes for an arm bar on that right side. Got his head right in the armpit of Sorensen, drives around that right side. Sorensen trying to roll through here, and he has to be careful he doesn't get caught on his back. So 30 seconds in here, it is Chapman with that 2-0 advantage here. Sorensen continues to try to roll over, and he's going to get, Chapman's going to get 3 near fall here as he's got Sorensen on his back.
2 ranked wrestlers here, Sorensen 5th.
And Sorensen trying to come out.
Oh, he's going to get out, Cody.
Yep, kind of rolls through here for that 2-point takedown. Tries to put Chapman in a cradle, and that's a lot of cradle if he can get that locked up.
Oh, boy.
Sorensen, you see, trying to roll through.
Man, he's going to get it. Man.
Rolls him through right to his back. He needs to adjust here, though, and get his knee in the side, get that arm out from underneath Chapman's back, and it's tight. Sorensen's got that death grip on him, and he keeps adjusting, getting that shoulder flat, and he's going to be stuck.
He's going to get it, Cody.
He just continues
Sorensen
to work,
is so strong.
work tightly.
There it is. There it is. What a job by Sorensen. He's ranked 5th in the state, coming in at 285. Chapman ranked number 12. Sorensen in trouble early. He was able to squirm out of it, and he's just got raw strength, Cody Weaver.
He's another kid that never panics. I mean, if that was my kid in that position, I'd be screaming like crazy. You don't want to roll over a 285-pound guy and expect to be able to roll him through. And he's able to get that done and got the cradle in, kind of rolled over his own back to expose him. So
it's Sorensen with a pin in 1 minute and 31 seconds over Max Chapman. 42-13. Now we go to 106.
Yeah, this is Parsons of Creston taking on Jordan of Atlantic here. A sophomore and a senior.
Jay Jordan ranked number 12 at 106 pounds for Atlantic.
And Parson, kind of a long, lanky wrestler, and that's what we've seen out of some of the Parsons that have wrestled at 6 or 13. They like the cradles. They're longer, lankier, a little bit of separation here now, and Jordan trying to figure out where he needs to snap here and what needs to happen. He kind of drops down to a knee there. An outside shot there, and Parsons tries to get Jordan there, throwing, and Jordan readjusts in on a single leg there, goes for a cradle himself and rolls Parsons over. Parson able to roll back to his base here, and Jordan with that takedown here about halfway through this first period. We're going to come back to the center. Parsons will go down that bottom position, and Jordan will cover. It looks like Jordan's going to cover left side here. Parsons down and set. Right away keeps that arm. Going to be potentially dangerous there on that left shoulder. Releases that, reaches across. Now Jordan doing a good job settling back here. He needs to fall behind here, gets a little bit high, kind of scoots all the way around the hips there, elevates Parsons, returns him to the mat. Parsons right away comes back up to his feet. Parsons, you see Jordan trying to get to the side of him here to elevate, brings him back down, reaches kind of under body here. Got to try to lock the cradle up here, and he gets an arm in between Jordan there, and Jordan able to
nice job by
roll
Jordan.
him through, but no back points awarded here, so Tay Jordan's going to want to adjust here. Continues to have that cradle locked up, sits hip to hip now. Going to sit straight back here and going to get some near fall points on Parsons. There's 9 seconds to go here, so he's going to try to settle in here and get his 3-point near fall in this first period at 5-0. But you know, both wrestlers are scrapping here, and Parsons kind of readjusts, hips out of it, and Jordan doing a good job readjusting, going right to his back here. So,
what a job by Tay Jordan, up 5-0 here, and we go back that 285-pound match in Sorensen. My goodness, and he's given up probably 40 pounds.
At least,
you say?
Yeah. Jordan's down to set in that bottom position, and down to set in that bottom position. Parsons covering top here. Parsons right now working on his own cradle on the left side of Jordan here. Jordan doing a good job controlling that right wrist of Parsons. You can see on the camera there, trying to elevate Jordan off of his hips. Jordan tries to hip through, able to hip through here, readjust. Keeps that inside leg of Parsons and drives forward here, kind of a near side cradle here, and is across the face there. He's going to keep that leg and maybe try to Turk that here, and does a good job, releases that here and covers the hips. So 7-0 now, Jordan with that advantage. 1:15 to go here in the second period here at 106 pounds. Parsons a sophomore here and Jordan a senior. Jordan again with that near side cradle locked up. Settles in here now, he's got that knee in the side. You see him not release it necessarily yet. Still maintains control. He does release it. Gets 3 more near fall exposed there. Going to continue to drive in here. So 13-0 right now. Jordan of Atlantic with that advantage here. 48 to go in the second period. They're going to come back to the center here. Maybe it's 10-0. That's why I don't work in accounting, Tom. Jordan sucking him back, sucking Parsons back, readjusts his shoulders here, tightens that up, settles in here, elevates the head of Parsons. Parsons doing a good job rolling from shoulder to shoulder, and Jordan doing everything he can do to try to control that and stop him in enough motion where he can get that fall. Jordan settles in here, squeezing tight, got 22 seconds to go here in the second period. Settles in here and gets the fall.
Good job.
So great job there by Jordan. Kind of controlled that whole match. You know, Parsons came out and was never in a real bad position, but kept getting caught in that cradle.
Atlantic gets to 6 points. And Tay Jordan, who's ranked 12th in the state at 106 pounds. Good effort. The Trojans looking good in the contested races. We'll see what Braxton Haas can do here at 113 pounds for Atlantic. Tay Jordan wins by a fall in 3:42. Braxton Haas will take on Lane Travis of Creston at 113. Here we go, 42-19 Panthers with the lead.
Yeah, Haas is going to be look to take complete control of this match. Travis came out against Ramos from Red Oak, who you can tell didn't have a lot of experience here. Haas in on that outside single. Scoops that leg, continues to work his hips around there, tries to shelf that ankle, bring it up, comes back around now, switches to a double here. No points awarded yet, and Travis kind of bails back to his stomach here. Haas with the right leg in, kind of a cross body ride here. Tries to drive across the face here with the cross face, working on a cross face cradle, but he's got the right leg in. 2-on-1 now on that right side, and Travis trying to control that right arm of Haas that's over, peels that off here, and Haas again with that right leg in. Chops that left arm. Goes towards the 2-on-1 on that left side here. Now kind of switches off to a deep waist. Keeps that right leg in here, and Travis kind of stuck on bottom here on his hips now. Haas, you see, put both legs in. Going to work on maybe a power half here, and Haas not able to get that left leg in here, but his right leg, it continues to be in, not necessarily hooked on the leg of Travis. There he hooks the ankle on that right side. But again, he's working on the left side, kind of a cross body ride there. 20 to go here now, 2-0 advantage still for Haas. He's got both legs in now, trying to peel that wrist out, and it gets him broken back down flat to his back, works on a power half here, kind of comes up a little bit, and time's gonna expire. So it'll be 2-0 right now. Haas with that advantage here as he's peeling out front there. It'll be Creston's choice here. He's going to defer in the second period. Has to go down that bottom position.
42-19, the Panthers with the lead, and Braxton Haas, who is not rated, the state qualifier a year ago, won the championship at the Joe Fitch tournament at Humboldt, stands.
Yep, stands, peels that wrist,
There he goes.
turns and
Yep.
face, kind of puts them in his pocket, gets a 1-point escape right away, drops into a single on that near side. Elevates, and Travis kind of a long, lanky, using some of that advantage. You see Haas scoot there, hook that left leg. Now he'll try to scoot that left arm out around the back and drive in, hip into him here. He peels that out, grabs the ankle there. See his left arm kind of shelving that knee, and he's going to pick it up and elevate. Comes up to his feet, and he's going to go out of bounds here. We're going to come back to the center on our feet. 3-0 right now. Haas of Atlantic with the advantage over Travis here. Travis a sophomore and Haas a sophomore.
3-0 Braxton Haas with the lead. Both wrestlers standing. 1:03 to go here in the second quarter. Panthers up 42-19. See if Haas can get a takedown here, Cody.
Yeah, he's been working on his feet, and Travis, a lot of foot motion there. And Haas has been in on that single again, kind of comes up the middle here and turns and faces here. They're going to be in a scramble position here, but Haas does a good job getting that right arm through. No points awarded here. And you can hear Coach Duff, head up, and Haas is going to sit down, but again, Travis continues to elevate that. He's going to try, you can see him scooting hips in, and he's going to want to try to get that right leg locked in here of Haas, but Haas controlling that right leg here. And there's no points awarded here by either wrestler. 11 seconds to go here. Haas controlling that right leg, and that's the key to this, avoiding these points here as time expires in the second period. So 3-0 right now. Creston's going to go down here in this third period. Travis of Creston goes down, and Haas is going to cover, and Haas has got a 3-0 advantage here. Going to be a little bit of blood time, it looks like.
Let's recap the match so far, and we started off Calvin Hayes at 144. Let's see, now check that. We'll just pick it up here to 106. Tate Jordan over Kylan Parsons by a fall at 342. Braxton Haas of Atlantic wrestling Lane Travis right now at 132. Lincoln Keeler of Creston over Jaden Hart of Atlantic by a fall at 151. Brandon Bridey of Creston won by a forfeit at 138. Calvin Hayes with a major decision. He won 10-0 over Carson Reek of Creston at 144. Then Austin Evans, Milo Staver, and Jackson Pettigrew, they won by forfeits at 50, 57, and 65. And then William Bollinger at 175 for Creston. He came out and pinned Donovan Hedrington at 113. At 190, it was Colin Bruce of Atlantic over Gunnar Martwick of Creston by a 10-5 decision. We'll pick it up here in just a little bit as Haas is riding on top. Here and up 3-0.
Yeah, he's got the left arm control to Travis here, and Travis trying to break that lock with his elbow on the right side here, and able to free that left arm up a little bit, and Haas deep waist on the right side as he works forward here, kind of a crab ride as he circles left here, and Travis is able to come up to his feet here. Haas locks that left leg in here, tries to work on a tilt, and Haas is kind of caught underneath there and is able to roll him through, but you see Travis kind of fighting back over the top there, and Haas doing a good job getting back to his base, but he's able to roll through but not maintain that tilt. Didn't quite catch him in the bread basket, as coach would say. So he's able to roll through that. About a minute to go here in the third period. Haas with that 3-0 advantage here, working on a cradle here. And Travis grabs the right arm of Haas here and tries to fight that arm out. Got a leg in between. That's going to be a reversal for Travis of Creston. And I'm going to stop it here for blood time.
And so we'll pick it up in our recap. But Colin Bruce of Atlantic at 190. He won by a 10-5 decision over Gunnar Martwick of Creston. Quentin Fuller of Creston at 215. He wins by a forefoot at 285. Evan Sorensen over Max Chapman of Creston by a fall at 131. So that's what we have. 42-19 is our score here. Atlantic and Creston. Panthers beat Red Oak 67-11 in that first matchup here this evening. And we have a blood timeout for Braxton Haas, up 3-2 here. Good match going on with Haas and Lane Travis.
Pretty equal.
Yeah.
Haas has had the advantage so far, but there's 51 to go here now, and Haas is down that bottom position. He's going to want to get out. Travis there had his leg inside Haas's leg, kind of working on the power half there, and they stopped it for some blood time. So Haas is down and set there in that bottom position. Travis's permission to cover there, covers left side right away. Haas kind of comes up to his feet. Travis works on that left leg. Both wrestlers on their feet now. 4-2 now. Advantage here for Haas with 38 to go here. And Travis is, kind of pushing a little bit here, and Haas kind of working on a collar tie here. And both wrestlers separate. Haas now in on that single, outside single. Kind of come out the back like he did before. Seat belt there by Travis. Travis grabs that opposite ankle. Trying to roll through. No points are going to be awarded here. And Travis he's down on that left hip, trying to scoot his hips up here, and Haas doing a good job kind of circling around behind here, and time's going to expire. So Haas with the 4-2 advantage here at 113 pounds over Travis of Creston.
Wow. So Braxton Haas remains undefeated this season. State qualifier a year ago, and it's now heading up.
It'll be Christian Ahrens coming out here, and he's going to win this 120 by forefoot, and coming out at 126 will be Aiden Smith of Atlantic, taking on Broderick Phelps of Creston.
And those introductions in your corner brought to you by State Farm. Elvis Haas, your local good neighbor. 126, 48-22, Panthers in the lead. Smith undefeated, ranked second at 126 pounds.
Yeah, both wrestlers kind of getting ready here at 126. Come in and shake hands, and Phelps, a sophomore, taking on Smith, a junior. Smith with a lot of movement there.
Good job.
Phelps driving in there a little bit. Smith with an underhook on the right side. They're going to go out of bounds here, and whizzer underhook there by Smith. And Smith doing a good job there. Phelps went in on that low ankle. Smith's able to pick that up, capitalize on it. Phelps, you can see, trying to do an inside switch here, and Smith doing a good job readjusting his hips, continuing to push in that same direction, and has that right arm through now, gets the left leg through, hip shoulder in the side there, chops the left arm of Phelps, peels that left arm out, deep waist on the right side. Chicken wing on that left side now, gonna tilt him over here and kind of stack him up on his shoulders here. Able to sit through, catches him, and you can see Phelps pushes those outside legs to keep Smith from driving that direction with that chicken wing. Now Smith with a double chicken wing, it looks like, and he's just gonna kind of stack him up here. Got both chicken wings in, 45 to go here, and Smith is gonna try to drive forward here, and Phelps again pushing that outside legs, stalling a little bit here, posting that outside leg, and Smith jumps now to the right side, now back to the left, and not a lot of movement there by Phelps on bottom. Smith kind of goes crab ride here, readjusts hips here, chicken wing on the left side, half on the right side. And Smith not for sure which direction to go here, and really no stall call there on bottom by Phelps. Smith kind of stacks him up here and going to get a 3-point near fall. A real quick movement by Smith there to kind of get him stacked up on his shoulders. So we'll end this first period 5-0. It's here at 126 pounds, so it's going to be Creston's choice. Creston's going to defer. Smith's going to go down that bottom position to start that second period. Smith is down and set. Phelps going to cover that left side. Right away, Smith sits out, turns and faces, locks the legs over the top of Phelps, sits his hips back, tries to catch the legs of Phelps. Now he comes back around behind here, has the right leg in, reaches across the face of Phelps. So 7-0, Smith with the advantage. 2-on-1, it looks like, by Smith there on the left side. And again, Smith was able to stack him up here in the end of the first period. But Phelps really doing a good job defensively on the bottom, kind of turning the opposite direction of what Smith wants to use there. Goes arm bar here, elbow in the middle of the back, now readjusts, rolls Phelps over, and this is going to be tight here. Smith can readjust here, releases that, comes out front here, settles chest on chest, ties both arms up of Phelps here, comes back around now. You see him trying to hook that arm, knee up towards the side of the head. He's going to try to grab that arm, post that arm, and Smith really just comfortable here in this position. Reverse half here. Now comes back out front, scoops that head again, working on the fall here. 40 to go here in the second period. It's going to be 10-0 advantage right now, Smith, as he's kind of working off of his knees here, just working precisely, just taking his time. He's not burning any energy, and he's got that chicken wing there on the left side. Just going to settle here, 15 to go here, and kind of works his way up a little bit, keeps that arm here now. See him coming out front here, maybe going to switch to a headlock style, and switches to that headlock, and time's going to probably expire here, and Phelps trying to roll through here, and Smith doing a good job grabbing that inside leg of Phelps and preventing that from happening. So 10-0 right now. And he wants to go on his feet. Coaches suggest that Phelps go neutral here.
Yeah, that's a little unusual. Usually Coach Duff has him going down, but
well, Coach Duff had Smith down in the second period, so this is Creston's choice here. They deferred. Yeah. So we're back on our feet here. 10-0, Smith with the advantage. Elbow pass there. Puts that right leg in, goes okie dokie, opposite direction there for a 2-point takedown. That's going to be the match as long as Smith can hold on here.
Tech fall. There you go. Aiden Smith, Cody Weaver. 15-0 with 1:33 to go. A 4-minute and 27-second T-fall for Aiden Smith of Atlantic. And Trojans look good in a contested match as Atlantic with a number of open weights here. It's 48-27. Creston with the lead over the Trojans. And now we go to 100 and...
That's it for the duel.
That's it for the duel.
Yep.
That's it. We'll have a recap coming up. Atlantic will be wrestling Red Oak in the final duel of the night. We'll have a recap coming up here in just a little bit. We will be back in 2 minutes on 95.7 FM and live video streamed at westerniowatoday.com, powered by Nishnanet.
At 2nd Street Auto, it's our mission to get you back on the road fast. And it all starts with free local towing. Want your back at the shop? We talk you through your car repair with a free and fair estimate. We do everything in-house so you know who's working on your car. Our Hercules tires come with free road hazard repair, free rotation for the life of the tires, and a free alignment check. And nobody can beat our transmission rebuild and repair experts. Brakes, tune-ups, oil changes, preventative maintenance, and service work make 2nd Street your first stop.
Colton, with you more involved with farming, what have you observed?
Farmers don't just work harder, they farm smarter.
We've definitely seen that with the Enlist weed control system.
Oh yeah, application is dictated by the grow stage, not a set date on the calendar, and you can take mix with liberty.
Plus, you have a post program that you don't have to worry about drifting into neighboring fields.
Nailed it. To learn more, contact the Seed Pros.
The Seed Pros, with you from the word go. The Seed Pros, Mark Bantacker, Gary Dinklett, Nick Knutson, and John Becker.
Get to the Super Bowl for Globe Bowling on Friday and Saturday nights. Perfect for birthdays, reunions, family and friend get-togethers, and date nights. They even have bumpers and ramps for the little ones. Globe Bowling, all the glow-in-the-dark fun you love. Plus, the friendly competition of bowling makes for a great night. Call Dan to schedule your next party at 243-4656. Globe Bowling on Friday and Saturday nights at the Super Bowl, Highway 71 in Atlantic.
Gas prices got you down? Need a ride to work or the grocery store? There's public transportation for everyone in Southwest Iowa. SWAT offers taxi service in Atlantic, Glenwood, Harlan, Missouri Valley, Red Oak, and Shenandoah. $2.50 each way or $2 for seniors 60 years and older. Just call 1-800-842-8065 or visit swita.com to schedule your ride.
Now, back to Atlantic Trojan Sports on KS 95.7 and live stream at westerniowatoday.com.
Welcome back to Atlantic. We'll have some JV matches coming up here. Then Atlantic will wrestle the Red Oak in that final duel. Let's take a look and recap of this one here. It was Creston winning this duel by the score of 48-27 over the Trojans. It started out at 144 pounds. Yep. Calvin Hayes of Atlantic over Carson Reek of Creston by a 10-0 major decision. So Trojans took a 4-0 lead, but then Atlantic was open at 50, 57, and 65 at 150. Austin Evans of Creston won by a forfeit. At 157, Milo Staber of Creston won by a forfeit. At 165, Jackson Pettigrew of Creston won by a forfeit. Then we had a match at 175, and William Bollinger, he's tough. He's ranked 9th at 65 for the Panthers, and he came out with a fall at 113 over Donovan Hedrington of the Trojans. Cohen Bruce at 190 defeated Gunnar Martwick of Creston 10-5 by decision. Cohen Bruce of Atlantic. Quentin Fuller at 215, won by a forfeit for Creston, and at 285, what a match for Evan Sorensen. He was taken down. He was down 2-0, and then he turned the table, got the cradle on Max Chapman, who was much heavier at that 285-pound weight class, and Sorensen with that raw strength get the pin in 131.
Yeah, he rolled him right through, you know, kind of a suicide cradle there, and he was down 5-0 at one point, able to get that reversal and roll back through with that suicide cradle, and it was able to catch him, you know, and win that by fall.
So it's we move on there to 106, Tate Jordan of Atlantic over Kylan Parsons of Crescent by a fall, and 342 at 113. Braxton Haas of Atlantic over Lane Travis Creston by a 4-2.
Yeah, it was a tight
decision.
match.
Yeah, good match there. And then at 120, Christian Ahrens of Creston, he wins by a forfeit. And then you got a match at 126 with Aiden Smith of Atlantic. He's still undefeated. He's looking good this season. He beat Broderick Phelps of Creston by a tech fall in 425, 15-0. And at 132, we wrapped it up with Lincoln Keeler of Creston over, we wrapped up at 38. At 32, Lincoln Keeler of Creston over Jaden Harder of Atlantic by a fall at 151. And then at 138, Brandon Briley of Creston won by a 4-foot. And the final score, 48-27. Panthers with the win. So, Cody, we have to come up with the, and I think we know what it is, the match of the meet. It's brought to you by State Farm, Elvis Haas. And we'll have that for you coming up here right after this from State Farm and Elvis Haas.
That wrestler in the corner is dedicated and determined to work as hard as he can for his team. His drive and perseverance comes from his core. Now, wouldn't it be nice to have an insurance agent do the same for you and be on your team? Here at Elvis Haas State Farm, we're in your corner to help you with your insurance on your auto, home, farm, business, life, and financial services. We help you understand your insurance and show you the benefits of bundling all of your coverages with just one company. Put us on your team here at Elvis Haas State Farm, 1/2 block west of the courthouse, or call 712-243-4824.
Welcome back to Atlantic. Junior varsity matches going on right now. Cody Weaver, let's go to the match of the meet brought to you by State Farm Elvis Haas, your local good neighbor.
That's a tough one. I mean, Chapman and Sorensen both with a lot of experience there. Sorensen ended up winning that. Jordan, I felt, did a good job controlling his match.
Yeah.
But to me, it was the freshman Calvin Hayes at 144 that, came out and really dominated the match. Kind of throughout the whole match, he maintained control, never got, too high or too low, and ended up beating Carson Reek, that senior. So there's several matches in there. Again, I thought that the Chapman-Sorensen, the Jordan, the Parson match, and then the Calvin Hayes, to me, wrestled the match of the night for Atlantic.
Very good. So Calvin Hayes gets the Match of the Meet award here this evening, and that's brought to you by Elvis Haas, State Farm Insurance. Well, we'll break for 2 minutes, and we'll bring you more Wrestling Atlantic and Red Oak coming up here in a moment. We're back right after these.
Are you ready to be part of something bigger? I'm Myron Stein, president of Stein Seed Company. We're seeking exceptional individuals like you to join our team as independent sales representatives. If you're passionate about agriculture, ready to make a difference, and want unlimited earning potential, join the Stein team as an ISR. To learn more about open positions near you, contact your local Stein RSA, Darren Petty, at area code 712-249-5884.
This segment of Did You Know by Amy Jo is about hydraulic hoses. Well, guess what? They break. And at the worst times possible, too. Atlantic Egg and Auto can build you a new hydraulic hose most of the time faster than it takes you to even get to town. Now, don't be getting a ticket racing to town to see me. Since you're here, you might as well get more hydraulic fluid, shop towels, detailing supplies, and fresh cab to keep those rodents out. Atlantic and Audubon Egg and Auto, your only locally owned CarQuest Auto Parts stores.
After years of wondering why I see more runners than other athletes, I figured it out. Well, a sophomore hurdler explained it to me. This is Dr. Fritz Beyer of Body Basics Chiropractic, and he told me since my hip started acting up, I lost 1 second from my time. 1 second in a 55-second race is less than 2%, but he knew it instantly because the stopwatch told him. In other sports, there's not a stopwatch to tell you when the nagging injury takes 2% from you. To make sure you're giving your 100%, call 254-BODY to get your body back to the basics.
Cass Health in Atlantic, Iowa is a nationally recognized hospital, and we are proud of the awards and all of our recent accomplishments. But do you know what drives us to be the very best? You. We're passionate about helping our patients heal and feel their very best at any age and any stage of life. Cass Health, neighbors care.
Welcome back to Atlantic as the Red Oak and Atlantic duel coming up here in just a little bit. JV match is going on right now. We're joined by Atlantic Activities Director, Mr. Andy Mitchell, and we've had quite a night of wrestling here, Mr. Mitchell.
Yeah, this has been exciting. It was about 2.5, 3 months ago, and at that time this was just a boys triangular.
Yes, yeah.
And I don't know whose idea it was, whether it was Joe Wollum of Cam or Scott Driscoll and AD over at Creston, and they said, well, why don't we just make it, because their girls were looking at doing a triangular. They said, hey, just make it all one night. And then they got a hold of me. I'm like, sure, why not? Let's try this. Let's see. There's no way we're going to know if a boy-girl double header, triple header, is even possible. unless we try it.
Yes.
And I don't know. I'm sure other schools across state have done it and across the country, but this is the first time in this area that I'm aware of it. I know talking to Scott here tonight, he's like, I'm interested because they've got one just like this coming up next week. And
oh, yeah.
He wants to see how we handle things. And we weren't sure we were going to go 2 mats or 3 mats, 2 officials or 3 officials. And you know what? It's worked out. It's been great. There's always a few bumps in the road when you have any event, especially new, but we got those cleared up quickly, and the workers have been outstanding, and the wrestling has been fantastic.
We've got some JV matches to go, and then we'll wrap it up with the SWAT and Red Oak and Atlantic, and Red Oak will take to the mat. Your thoughts on the Trojans' performance here? I know they've got some open weights and fell short.
If you go back and just look at last week with Earlham, and this week, just a little bit ago with Creston, we win most of the matches that we actually wrestle. If we don't have the open weight classes, that duel with Creston may look a little different.
Yeah.
At least a lot closer, if not a complete turn in our favor. And hats off to Creston. Creston's a phenomenal team. They got some studs. And I'm not saying they wouldn't win the weight classes that we forfeit anyways,
right.
but we don't know. It's just our kids wrestled really well. So as individuals, when it comes to individual tournament time, we're going to hold our own because we got a lot of kids who are going to score high places in the duels. Because of our open weights, we're going to struggle. But what did we lose? 2-3 matches?
I have to go back.
Of contested matches?
Yeah.
But we won by the high majority of them.
Yeah, Jordan at 106, the winner. Haas, the winner at 113.
Yep.
Smith at 126.
Yep.
Hayes at 44. And Bruce at 90.
And Sorensen at 285. Yeah.
So, they won the majority of them.
Duff's got these guys already going the right direction now. Tomorrow and Saturday is going to be a real test for our varsity boys. They go to Council Bluffs to the Mid-American Classic. That's one of the toughest meets in the Midwest.
Oh, it is.
And they're going to see some great wrestlers from many states. From Iowa, Nebraska, Kansas, Minnesota. I don't know if we have any Illinois coming over this year or not. I think there's some Missouri teams though, and it's a tough match. But that's why we go there. We get better.
You betcha.
And the girls tonight, they wrestled pretty well here against Highway 34. Coach South does a great job with that program. I've had the opportunity early in the season to get over and watch a couple practices, and they're intense, but they're fun. And she teaches a lot more than just wrestling to the girls. And it's paying off. So hats off to them. They're fun to watch.
You bet. Well, anything else to add here? Thanks for stopping by.
Hey, Tom, it's a busy gym this week.
Yes.
We had the boys-girls basketball doubleheader Tuesday. Same thing tomorrow night with Creston back here again. That'll be a fun night. And then you got archery this weekend over at the middle school and Schuler gyms, and that's always a good time as well too. Coach Rowland does a great job with those boys and girls, and from young age on up. So we'll be over there and get to see what they do in person this weekend.
Very good. Mr. Mitchell, thank you very much.
Thanks, Tom.
We'll see you tomorrow night.
Yeah, you bet. We'll be here.
You betcha. We'll be back with more wrestling action. We're going to break away here for a couple of minutes on 95.7 FM on our live video stream powered by Nishnanet.
Winter is nearly here, and that means snow and cold are just around the corner.
Elkhart Plastics in Atlantic has a career opportunity for you. They're currently looking to hire first and second shift oven operators, first shift assemblers, and maintenance personnel, along with competitive pay and shift differential offered for second shift. Elkhart Plastics offers medical, dental, vision, company-paid life and disability plans, as well as vacation, paid holidays, education reimbursement, and retirement savings plans. Go to MyersIndustries.com/careers to view openings and fill out an application. Elkhart Plastics is an equal opportunity and affirmative action employer.
First Windy Bank is the longest standing locally owned bank in Atlantic, and as such, we take pride in how we serve our community. For generations, we have been involved with our customers and their families by getting involved in community events and by supporting technology and teaching financial literacy in our schools. You'll also see our support of athletics on the scoreboards at home events. It's this involvement that allows us to know our customers and their families for generations. First Windy Bank, the only bank you'll ever need. Member FDIC.
The perfect companion is waiting for you at the Fish Store and Pet Center in Atlantic. Pick out a furry guinea pig, hamster, or mouse. Maybe something feathered. They have an aviary full of birds to choose from. What about something scaly, like a snake, lizard, or hermit crab? And it's in their name. A wide variety of fish are available at the Fish Store and Pet Center. Get all the food and accessories you need to keep that new addition to your family happy and healthy. The Fish Store and Pet Center in Atlantic, a pet lover's paradise.
Hi everyone, this is Caitlin from your Atlantic Hy-Vee. Start your day off right and let us take care of breakfast. We have so much to choose from eggs, sausage, bacon, pancakes, and so much more. We are available 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. daily. Stop in and enjoy. Have you ordered your holiday packs yet? Leave all the holiday craziness to us. Stop in or give Crystal a call today to get your pack ordered. And don't forget, we also have in our meat department, you buy a ham and get a free turkey. That's right, you buy a ham and you get a free turkey. Thank you as always for shopping your Atlantic Hy-Vee.
On KS 95.7 and live stream at westerniowatoday.com.
Yeah, welcome back to Atlantic. And Tom Robbins alongside Cody Weaver as the Trojans and the Tigers will match up in this final duel of the night. Creston, they won two. They beat the Tigers 67-11 in the first one, and they came back and topped Atlantic in the second duel 48-27, and now Atlantic and Reddick will take to the mat here, starting at 138 pounds, and we'll bring you those matches here. 95.7 FM and live video streamed on westerniowatoday.com. It's powered by Nishnanet. So, Cody, your thoughts? Creston, we saw them against Red Oak. The Panthers against the Trojans. Again, another solid lineup for Coach Downing and the guys, huh?
Yeah, I think from top to bottom, again, 8 seniors and the rest, the other 4 are sophomores. So they're a little bit young, but, next year it's going to be a completely different team than what it was. And I think if you look at the way the little kids wrestled, the last few years, these freshmen coming in have kind of had the upper hand on Creston. Yeah. But you're young now, and there's a lot of kids. Creston's, got a full lineup. Of older kids. So I thought, everybody competed pretty well, for Atlantic. But, giving up all those open weights, you're just giving up 6 points each time. You can't really make that up throughout the matches.
Well, we're getting set here, and we'll start at 138. We'll see who the Trojans bring out at 38, and for the Red Oak Tigers, SWAT and Red Oak will match up on the girls' side as well. So here we go, 138 pounds to Cody Weaver. And
it's going to be Josh Lorette for Red Oak and Draven Smith of Atlantic.
Draven wrestled JV, and Coach Steph thought he would bring some of these kids along here in this duel. And here's one of them with Draven Smith at 138. So we'll have a match here. Lorette and Smith.
Yeah, Smith, a freshman, and Lorette, like I said, came in maybe as a freshman, and got thrown in. And I know one of his first matches was against my older son, and he has, how long have you been wrestling? And the older kid, my kid said, basically forever. And, but he's improved so much throughout his career. And Smith, a freshman, coming in at 138 pounds, is out-muscled. Strength-wise, gets taken down here. Lorette on top now, and this is where you'll see Lorette, his strength really kind of show up and keeps Smith down there. Smith doing a good job, though, keeping those knees kind of posted here, and Lorette may be working on a tilt here on the right side. You can see him tying up that right arm. Going to try to stack Smith up, gets the shoulders exposed, but Smith doing a good job peeling that wrist, and almost was able to come back around behind here, but Lorette puts the half Nelson in there on the right side. Smith almost was able to reverse there, and you see Smith stepping over now over the leg of Lorette. Lorette reaching over the head here, doing we call it the okie dokie, just some cheap back points there, rolls back over, gets a 2 near fall there. So it's 6-0 right now. Lorette with that advantage to take down a set of back points, 2 sets of back points, and working kind of cross face there now, and reaches in between here again, kind of goes near side cradle. Smith doing a good job sitting out, kind of turning the opposite direction. Working on a chicken wing there on the right side, it looks like, trying to peel that right side arm out. And we're about down to 15 seconds here in this first period, and he's going to try to stack Smith up again. And we saw this earlier, and Smith was able to kind of turn from his back to his stomach here, and Lorette chicken wing there and has that tight. Got pinned with 2.2 left here. And
so Lorette with the win, and in your corner, brought to you by State Farm Elvis Haas, your local good neighbor, and it was Joshua Lorette of Red Oak pinning Draven Smith. 2 seconds left on the clock there. That's all that was left. And Lorette gets the pin in 1 minute and 58 seconds at 138 pounds. Well, we go to 144, and we've got Hayes coming out. And, of course, he was outstanding in his first match against the Creston Panthers. And this is a guy, Calvin Hayes, who has a lot of up to him. Just a freshman, Cody, and very, very impressive. So the in your corner lineup, State Farm, Elvis Haas, your local good neighbor, brings you Tyler Sandholm of Red Oak and Calvin Hayes of Atlantic. Sandholm ranked to 12th at 144 pounds.
Yeah, Sandholm coming out. You can tell maybe he's a little bit more physical, a little bit stronger, a little ankle pick there for Sandholm, but Hayes doing a good job, and you can see him kind of reaching back there, and he's got Hayes is trying to do the 2-on-1 there, seatbelt, and Sandholm trying to come up here, and you can see Sandholm's just strong, but Hayes doing a good job kind of in that scramble position. He's going to try to sit through here, and Sandholm will try to reach back with that left arm and grab the head, but Hayes doing a good job so far trying to fight this scramble through here and kind of catches Hayes here, and again just goes that opposite direction of what you think and gets the takedown there on Hayes. So deep waist there on the right side for Sandholm, inside wrist control on that left side. Hayes kind of up to his base here, tries to come up to his feet a little bit, inside thigh pry there on the left side by Sandholm, trying to get him broken down there flat on his kind of right side, but Hayes doing a good job, keeping his base strong there, reaches on, peeling those hands out, turns and faces Sandholm, and comes back up to his feet here with about 45 to go here in the first period. Sandholm with a shot right away. You can see, Sandholm basically just kind of let him over move and just capitalize on that defensive move basically by Sandholm. He knew where he was at and able to come back around there for that second takedown. So
Sandholm is wrestling up. He is actually ranked 12th at 138 and wrestling up here at 144. I think his normal weight class will be 38 throughout the season, Cody, you believe? Or?
Yeah, maybe even, it's hard to say, maybe even lower. I think, I don't know. I talked to the Lorette kid, before the duels, and he said, Coach Podliska said, hey, can you get to 38? So they both weighed in at 38.
Yeah.
But I think you'll see Lorette at 44, probably the majority of the time.
4-1, Sandholm with the lead here after one period. To go to the second, and it's going to be Hayes taking down. Lorette will cover with that 4-1 lead.
Right away, kind of a sit-out attempt there by Hayes, arm chop and deep waist there by Sandholm on the left side. Crab ride now by Sandholm, working around the front side of the head. Has Hayes broken down to that right shoulder. Hayes comes back up, and right away Sandholm chops that arm, and he really does a good job controlling the right inside leg there. But Hayes is back up on his feet now, 4-2, so he's got to make sure that he kind of keeps up with the moves here. A shot there attempt. Sandholm driving in. Hayes trying to come around behind here, but Sandholm grabbing that inside leg there, and you see him stepping over, gets a head through, kind of a near side, releases that leg, comes back around for another takedown. He's trying to work a half on the right side, has the shoulder there, inside thigh pry on the left side. Hayes back up to his feet, turns and faces. So 6-3 match right now as they work towards the center. Sandholm with a shot there. Hayes stuffs the head. This time he's a little more cautious, taking his time as he tries to circle around behind there. But Hayes, his leg is locked up here, and he wants to make sure that he doesn't give Sandholm an advantage, and it's going to be a stalemate. So that was a better job there by Hayes on that defense. So we're back to the center with 46 to go here. Sandholm with a lot of level changes here. A shot attempt there. Hayes again stuffed that head, crossed that arm, and you'll see right away he gets sucked into that single leg. And nice whizzer there by Hayes, but this is exactly what Sandholm likes. He likes to be in that position where he's under control. He drives in a little bit. The whizzer's still in there. They're close to the edge of the mat here and needs to just crank down on that whizzer. They're going to be out of bounds here with 16 to go. Come back to the center. 6-3 match here. See a collar tie there by Sandholm on the right side. Elbow pass attempt there by Hayes. Hayes drives in and goes to a single leg there. Tries a fireman's and you can see Sandholm not panicking at all, and Hayes kind of gets caught underneath there in the middle, but no points awarded for either wrestler. So it'll be the third period here. And it's going to be, I don't know if it's the second period or the third period, Tom. I'm having so much fun. Hayes covers that left side here. Going to be a caution on Hayes. A little bit of an early start off that elbow. So 6-3 match here. Sandholm of Red Oak with that advantage. He sits out. Going to reach back for that head. Hayes doing a good job. Drives into Sandholm. Continues to keep him broke down. Chicken wing here needs to drive that right side here. Gets a chicken wing on Sandholm. Sandholm, you'll see, will turn and face him. Yep. He's going to use that leverage. You see him posting out, and he's just basically going to sit back to the right here. Hayes doing a good job.
He's got to shear that arm or chop that left arm to get him. Well, first you got to get him rolled flat down, and he's going to bring it broke down now. He might run this, Cody.
But this doesn't bother Sandholm at all. He's used to being in this position, very flexible, and he never panics. And again, you see him reach back there, kind of in between the legs, almost for a reversal there, or trying to get that inside. And Hayes doing a good job on top here, kind of staying out of trouble, keeping his head out of the way here. Sandholm sits out. Hayes doing a good job keeping that arm. And again, Sandholm sits back into him, really reaching hard. And Hayes doing a good job following back behind there, kind of shadow wrestling, we would call it, where you're doing the same moves that the bottom guy's doing and just stay with them, you know. So you see Sandholm there. And again, very flexible joints for shoulder, but you see him working inside.
Yep.
And he doesn't care if his arm's left behind there because he knows that Hayes is going to let go of that arm, and Hayes has got to hold on to that arm. But right. You see, he doesn't panic. I mean, Hayes needs to hold on to the arm, and it needs to be stopped like that. And Hayes did exactly what he needed to do, not give up on the move, even though Sandholm had his leg in there. It was potentially dangerous, so he maintains control of that.
Well, and I think it's an example. Sandholm knows exactly where he is all the time.
Yeah.
He's got good feel. And like you said, he's flexible. That arm was stretched out to the max.
Right.
It didn't even wince.
Correct. And, you know, Hayes has got to know it's a 6-3 match, and he's in the match here with 10 to go. Sandholm trying to come up, but he's going to have this trouble all year with Sandholm. And you can see he gets some exposure there. They're going to call it for potentially dangerous, you know. So you have to have Sandholm's a kid that you have to have perfect position. The shoulder and everything has to be in the perfect position, and he's so flexible that he can move around here. And Sandholm with a kind of a reversal attempt there, and it's a 6-3 match. So that's about what you can expect. I mean, Calvin did a good job from that standpoint, and Calvin's a kid that you have to wrestle your match against somebody like that. So we're going to go up to 150 pounds here, and basically from 150, we're going to be a forfeit. 157 we will forfeit, and 165 we will forfeit.
So the Tigers jump out here early with the win by Lorette at 138 over Draven Smith of Atlantic by a fall at 158. Tyler Sandholm of Red Oak over Calvin Hayes by a 6-3 decision. And then as Cody mentioned, we've got 4 foots 50, 57, 65 for Red Oak. Your lineups brought to you by State Farm. Elvis Hash, your local good neighbor. 150 Red Oak wins by 4 foot. Atlantic opened there. Bryce Shirley taking the win for Red Oak at 157 pounds. We'll get that 4 foot for the Tigers as well. And the winner here at 157 for Red Oak. Sergio Villanueva with that win there, I believe. And then 165, Atlantic is open to that weight class. We will get
Baz Clear coming out for the 4 foot there.
Baz Clear is at 165. So Bryce Shirley at 150. Sergio Villanueva the winner at 57 by 4 foot, and Baz Clear the winner 165. So now for Atlantic at 175, it's going to be Donovan Hedrington taking to the mat here. For 165, excuse me, I believe.
Now 175.
175, we're not getting that 65 up just yet.
And Johnson, I think he won his match against Creston, wrestled really well, well on his feet and everything.
Yeah, he was impressive. And we've got action here at 100. And we're still showing 65 there. It should be 175. We'll double check that. Johnson and Hedrington.
Again, Johnson, a real athletic looking 175-pounder, big kid, quick moving feet. Both wrestlers kind of trying to get a good feel for what the other opponent's going to do. Some elbow pass attempts by Hedrington, and elbow pass there by Hedrington. Not able to kind of come around behind there and capitalize on it, but again, the elbow pass attempt there, down to a knee. Front headlock there, attempt by Hedrington. Kind of comes in between here, trips. And he's going to, no wrestler with the advantage, but Johnson knew where he was at. When he bounced from his back to his stomach.
Tigers are leading. It should be, they're still showing us at 65, but it should be at 75.
Yeah, this is 175.
Yeah, so 65. They should be a 27-0 lead for Red Oak here in this duel. And this match here is listed at 165. If you're following on track wrestling, it should be at 175. And Tigers got a 4 foot win at 165. No score here. Looks like a good battle here. Andrew Johnson and Donovan Hedrington.
Yeah, and Johnson kind of came out on the out of bounds there, but Hedrington's been in good position here, and a lot of movement by Hedrington. No real shots by Johnson yet, but Hedrington was in on that shot on the edge there as they went out of bounds. So we're down to 15 to go here in the first period. Elbow pass attempt by Hedrington again.
Johnson did win at 75 over Jackson Pettigrew, Cody, of Creston. You mentioned he got the win, but he won by tech fall. 18-1 and 5-21. So Johnson having an impressive night, but Hedrington give him an all he wants here after one period.
Yeah, it's Atlantic's choice here in the second period, and Hedrington will go down that bottom position. Johnson covers left side here. Hedrington right up to his feet, working on peeling hands here. He needs to stay up on his feet here and make Johnson take him down. That's going to be a stall call. And right away, he's able to kind of turn and face. He catches him in the near side cradle and rolls him over on his back. He's got to just settle in here and get the head in the side and maintain control and not get too big a hurry here. Got to get his head in the side, drive forward. And again, Johnson's just a strong kid, but he's got to get his head in the side here and get him over and get a count on him and settle in here. And he does able to do that, but he needs to just hold on to him here. He needs to get back over the side here. He's letting your Johnson, get in on that leg here, and he's got to get head in the side here and drive forward slowly and maintain control here and get further back. And he's able to stack him up there. Johnson doing a good job battling that off, but it's far from over. And again, Hedrington needs to get back behind the hips here.
No points given on that. Oh, they're going to give one.
1 point escape.
Yeah, but there's the 3 back points for Hedrington. And still 50 seconds to go with 5-1 lead for Donovan Hedrington. But Andrew Johnson getting a point there on the escape code.
Yeah, and I think he wanted to, but that's not something you want to talk to the official about.
Can we discuss this?
You're not going to have any breaks, and there's no discussion. There's one person that's right in that conversation.
That's exactly right.
A guy in stripes. So Fireman's there by Hedrington.
Wow.
Nice job. Get that right arm through. Settle in here. He needs to get his right arm through here and not allow Johnson to roll him around here. You can see Johnson trying to settle his hips and get Hedrington into trouble. Hedrington comes out the back here. Got to stop it for potentially dangerous on the knee. Reaches back for the head, catches him in a headlock.
Uh-oh.
Gets 2 points awarded here. And not gonna get too near fall. That was awful quick.
Boy. I was going to say that was not on his back long, but he's still going to give up 2 to Andrew Johnson. Now we're tied at 5-5 going into the second period.
Yep, and it's going to be Johnson's choice here.
Yeah.
Both these guys are working hard. You can tell they're testing their conditioning early in this match, and Johnson tries a roll there, and Hedrington puts a leg in, which he's not a leg rider, and you see his hip kind of get low there, but Johnson reaching back, and he's going to do a reverse cradle on Hedrington, but he doesn't have the arm, it doesn't look like, so gets the fall.
Boy, Hedrington gave a good effort there, and he gets pinned by Johnson. Had a great night for Roanoke. That's 2 wins for Andrew Johnson. He won by a tech fall over Pettigrew of Creston in that first match, and he pins Donovan Hedrington at 175 in a fall in 4 minutes and 21 seconds. Now we go to 190 pounds. So Cohen Bruce of Atlantic will take to the mat at 190.
Should be Caleb Ransom.
It is Caleb Ransom. Cody, you're right. That's brought to you by State Farm and Elvis Haas.
Kind of a front headlock attempt there by
Bruce won his first match against the Panthers at 190 pounds, and I look up 27-0. We'll have to add up our points here, but Atlantic yet to get on the board here. It's a big match right here for the Trojans.
It is. They got to get some momentum going. Giving up all those open weights, it's going to be a lot to make up here.
Bruce won 10-5 in his first match against the Panthers. The guy that won 14 matches a year ago and had an injury-ridden season. Boy, he was hungry to get back on the mat, Cody, this year. We talked to him during the media day, and you could just see his eyes light up. He was ready and raring to go, and he's really had a pretty good start. There's a nice blast double, and he needs to finish. He does. He gets the 2 points. Maybe some back points here.
He catches him on his back. Needs to hook the legs in and then control the head and the arm there. And he's got 40 seconds left here to kind of adjust, and you see him teeing off there and you know, on his toes, trying to use his chest, and he gets the fall there. So
Cohen Bruce with a big pin for Atlantic. Trojans needed that if they want to try to get back in this thing with open weights and some losses early by fall. And now we're going to see Evan Sorensen.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a forfeit here at 2:15, and
so Bruce over Ransom at 190 by a fall in 1 minute and 27 seconds. And I believe the Tigers they're
going to throw out, well, it looks like they're going to move Nolan Perrier up to 285 from 215, and they're going to throw another kid in. Looks like potentially Oliver Dykes, a freshman, comes out for a forfeit there at 215.
Oliver Dykes puts more points on the board for the Roanoke Tigers. Now we go to 285, Perrier and Sorensen. Sorensen, ranked 5th in the state at 285, was outweighed by Sam Chapman of Creston in that match prior, and Sorensen able to come back and get the fall. Just raw strength there. Is we still have 285 to go. 6, 13, 20, 26, and 32. So plenty of matches left to go, but Atlantic's going to need some pins here to make up for those open weights. And credit Lorette with a fall for Retto. Tyler Sandholm won by a 6-3 decision. And Andrew Johnson over Donovan Hedrick by a fall in 4:21. And I think what they're doing here, Cody Weaver down below, is getting that track wrestling up to date. Because we're up at 285 right now. They have the clock at 2:15. Why they get things sorted out here. And on the mat will be Perrin and Sorensen. Sorensen, the champion, the Joe Fitch tournament in Humboldt last weekend. Here we go.
Sorensen just coming in with a bear hug and trying to catch Perrin, and Perrin going backwards. Sorensen knowing exactly where he is, settling his hips in there, fighting the arms there, adjust that. Has Perrin in a tough position here with a minute 42 to go.
Well, that was a 19-second pin for Evan Sorensen. He is off a terrific start. His state qualifier a year ago was 1 place away from the medal stand. And now Atlantic trails 33-12 to the Red Oak Tigers. We go to 106 pounds with Tay Jordan of Atlantic taking the mat, the senior. And I think that Red Oak is going to be open here, so a forfeit win for Jordan.
It looks like maybe they're potentially going to bump Haas up and Russell, maybe Russell Colin Harris.
Colin looked like he came out. That introduction of Tay Jordan brought to you by State Farm. Elvis Haas, your local to good neighbor.
They're going to throw Colin Harris out here, I think, at 113 and bump Haas up to 20.
So I believe Colin's coming out, the freshman for Atlantic.
It is going to be Haas.
Here's Braxton. Looked like Colin.
Colin might come out at 20.
Looks like he is going to wrestle, the freshman for Atlantic. So Haas will come out at 113 pounds. And it's going to be Braxton Haas and Javier Ramos. Here it's 39-12 in favor of the Tigers with 13, 20, 26, and 32 to go. Haas won by decision his first time out tonight against Creston. Had a tough match.
Yeah, and Ramos, you could tell him coming out in his first match, not quite even stepping on the line, so not a lot of experience as a wrestler, but you're happy to see him out there trying to compete. Take down there for Haas. Going to work on chopping that. Looks like that left arm and kind of work on a tilt here on that left-hand side. So long, lanky kid rolls him through. Continues to scoot his hips here. But, Ramos, he's getting near fall points there on the opposite edge of the mat. So Haas is able to scoot hips back on top there. And they're going to go out of bounds here with a minute 13 to go. So it'll be 5-0, maybe 4-0. My eyes are bad enough I can't see if he was holding up 2 or 3 fingers.
Didn't you bring your cheaters tonight, didn't you?
I did, but that's only for close-up.
It's 4-0. You got it. 4-0 in favor of Braxton Haas of Atlantic. Well, the Trojans need some pins here in these final 4 weights.
And Ramos, doing a good job at keeping his shoulder blades off there, but Haas scooting his hips and everything underneath him, but he needs to know he's got the chicken wing in here now, and he's going to walk around that head and make sure that he gets the 6 points here for Atlantic.
Yeah, there he's going to get the leverage.
Settles in nice, but Ramos doing a good job. So
he's strong. He gets back over. There it is. That's the pin right there.
He's settling in here, and he's not calling his shoulder blade completely flat yet, and then there he gets the fall. So it'll be 24-39. So
39-24, Tigers with the lead, and the pin for Braxton Haas over Javier Ramos. And now we go to 120 pounds. Colin Harris, the freshman for Atlantic, we believe, will take the mat. That's going to be the case. So Colin, who's wrestling up, I believe, in weight. He's a competitor. And now, he's going to win by forfeit. I was hoping to see Colin wrestle there, Cody.
Yeah, there's Smith coming out here now, so.
And we're going to have some forfeits here right off the bat. So Colin gets a forfeit at 20. Smith wins by forfeit at 26.
And this will be the last match of the night there, Tom.
Tonight. So Harder will come out for Atlantic at 132 pounds, Cody Weaver, and
he's going to take on Gussman of Red Oak.
So Gussman, it looks like 39-30 is the score. Tigers will cinch it up here, it looks to me like. And before this match starts, as girls are done, they're starting to roll up their mats. And the final match here tonight. So we start at 5:30 with Creston beating Red Oak 67-11. Atlantic came back and lost 48-27 to the Panthers in the second duel. And it's 39-30 in favor of Red Oak here over the Trojans in the final match at 132. And it's Harder out there for Atlantic. And Dayton Guzman, or Gooseman of Red Oak. See if they can, who can get some first points here. Harder's been a very competitive freshman, Cody. I mean, he came out and wrestled well against Creston and ended up getting pinned. So 36-30 is the score. That's the right score we have on the board. So a pin by Harder would tie the match if he would win. And Guzman trying to get the victory for Red Oak. And no points yet as they go out of bounds along the far side. They'll go back to the middle.
And that kind of surprised me.
Yeah.
Had a near side cradle locked up, but no points awarded there. So, Harder kind of a single leg there attempt, and he needs to cross face hard
here.
here.
Cross face to get around.
Get his hips back here and cross face. He's got Gussman broken down flat there, but has to get around behind him here. Take a big step, get his hip over here, and able to come back around behind there. He's got to get that covered. He gets the two, but he's leaving that leg behind here where he's going to get in trouble, and he's got to get that leg free. Stuff the head, cross face here, and he allows Gussman to relock that lock up on that leg. So you're going to try to switch him here. Or Harder cross face, drives into him here, needs to use his hips, get him off of his base, reaches cross face cradle here. And Harder almost in trouble there, but did a good job bailing out here. And
there he gets the throw, Cody Weaver.
There's 8 seconds left here. And it's so close, Tom.
He's not going to give it. Great job by Harder. Harder is an offensive guy, man. He is forward all the time. He's got that fifth gear in. There's no neutral for Harder as a freshman. That may change as he gets more experience and gets older, but he's fun to watch. He gets one right there, now 6-0, huh?
Yeah, it's he knows, I'm sure he was told before he went out there, you need to win by fall.
Yeah.
And you see him driving in there, fireman catches him on his back. Got to settle in here, chest on chest, and he's going to be out of bounds. Both knees are out of bounds, so.
10-0, 12-0 now in favor of Harder. So a tech fall would bring Atlantic within one, and he may get a tech fall. He's got to get a pin.
Coach Podleska's not happy about something.
Okay. So Coach Podleska's going to come over and
I think it's because they called him out of bounds.
So Coach Podleska will have a visit with the official, and Harder will come over and talk to Coach Duff. The Tigers getting wins from Guzman, Lorette, Sandholm, Shirley, Villanueva, Johnson, Oliver Dykes. Yeah, they've got 39-36. That's the correct score right there. Harder with trying to get some points here.
And Harder's a good scrambler, so he'll be fine in this situation. You see him working his head out slowly there. He's going to stack him up here and pin him.
And that would give the win to Atlantic if that's the case.
He's doing very cautious here. He's stacking him up on both shoulders.
He almost had that pin.
And he's going to keep that leg and just continue to drive forward. He wants that stack.
There it is. There it is.
He's going to settle in. He's got 57 to go here. So
there it is. How about that? You got to love this guy. And Atlantic will win it 42-39 over the Red Oak Tigers here tonight. As Harder comes up, and you always love that. It used to be the heavyweights at the end of the match that were heroes, and tonight it's Peyton Harder for Atlantic at 138 pounds.
Not Peyton. She plays basketball.
Yeah. Relation there. Yeah, I'm getting a little excited on that one, but yeah, what a win for Jaden Harder, and a win over Dayton Gooseman for Red Oak. We're back to wrap things up here. Atlantic wins 42-39 over the Red Oak Tigers. They split tonight as Creston beats Atlantic by the score of 47-23, and Atlantic comes back here to win this one over the Red Oak Tigers. Creston wins both. They beat Red Oak 67-11. Back for a wrap-up here in a couple of minutes on the 95.7 FM and a live video streamed on WesternIowaToday.com, powered by Nishnanet.
Are you ready?
That wrestler in the corner is dedicated and determined to work as hard as he can for his team. His drive and perseverance comes from his core. Now, wouldn't it be nice to have an insurance agent do the same for you and be on your team? Here at Elvis Haas State Farm, we're in your corner to help you with your insurance on your auto, home, farm, business, life, and financial services. We help you understand your insurance and show you the benefits of bundling all of your coverages with just one company. Put us on your team here at Elvis Haas State Farm, 1/2 block west of the courthouse, or call 712-243-4824.
Colton, with you more involved with farming, what have you observed?
Farmers don't just work harder, they farm smarter.
We've definitely seen that with the Enlist weed control system.
Oh yeah, application is dictated by the grow stage, not a set date on the calendar, and you can take mix with liberty.
Plus, you have a post program that you don't have to worry about drifting into neighboring fields.
Nailed it. To learn more, contact the Seed Pros.
The Seed Pros, with you from the word go. The Seed Pros, Mark Bantacker, Gary Dinklett, Nick Knudsen, and John Becker.
Get to the Super Bowl for Globe Bowling on Friday and Saturday nights. Perfect for birthdays, reunions, family and friend get-togethers, and date nights. They even have bumpers and ramps for the little ones. Globe Bowling, all the glow-in-the-dark fun you love. Plus, the friendly competition of bowling makes for a great night. Call Dan to schedule your next party at 243-4656. Globe Bowling on Friday and Saturday nights at the Super Bowl, Highway 71 in Atlantic.
There is no better way to complete your Christmas list than something made special just for them and designed by you. Outfitters Plus Outlet Store is here to help you personalize that perfect gift. Screen printing, embroidery, digital printing, and custom designs on anything and everything. Letter jackets, tees, blankets, fleece, and more, all ready to personalize. So while you're out making that Christmas list and mapping out your shopping trip, make sure your first stop is Outfitters Plus Outlet Store in Atlantic for your one-of-a-kind and personalized Christmas gifts. Outfitters Plus Outlet Store on the east edge of Atlantic and at the top of everyone's Christmas list.
Now, back to Atlantic Trojan Sports on KS 95.7 and live stream at westerniowatoday.com.
Welcome back as we'll wrap up the Red Oak Atlantic matchup. Atlantic wins that 42-39, and we'll go back and get an official on that one. Hey, we do have to do the match of the meet, Cody Weaver. It's brought to you by Elvis Haas from State Farm, your local good neighbor, and we'll have the match of the meet right after this.
That wrestler in the corner is dedicated and determined to work as hard as he can for his team. His drive and perseverance comes from his core. Now, wouldn't it be nice to have an insurance agent do the same for you and be on your team? Here at Elvis Haas State Farm, we're in your corner to help you with your insurance on your auto, home, farm, business, life, and financial services. We help you understand your insurance and show you the benefits of bundling all of your coverages with just one company. Put us on your team here at Elvis Haas State Farm, 1/2 block west of the courthouse, or call 712-243-4824.
And we thank Elvis Haas for his sponsorship here, and the match of the meet brought to you by State Farm. Elvis Haas, your local good neighbor, Cody Weaver. We had some good matches there against the Red Oak, and what are you picking?
I'm picking Harder.
Yep, you got to.
You know, you're coming down to the end of the duel.
Not Peyton, but Jaden.
Jaden, yeah. Well, I might pick Peyton, too. She looks pretty tough on the court.
That's right.
There's just so much pressure as a freshman. You know your team's counting on you. Yes, it's an individual sport, but you make the difference between winning the duel and losing the duel. You take that on yourself, even though it really isn't just your match that decides it. It is your match that decides it, for the final there. So he did a good job controlling himself. You could tell as he got going, he got a little bit more confident and was able to win that by pin. So, Atlantic comes back and wins at 42-39, but you're going to have a lot of duels that are that way this year with all those open weights. It's hard to overcome all that.
So let's recap the matches. Started out at 138 pounds. Joshua Lorette over Draven Smith of Atlantic by a fall at a 158. 144, Kyler Sandholm of Red Oak over Calvin Hayes of Atlantic by a 6-3 decision. At 150, Bryce Shirley of Red Oak won by 4 foot. At 157, Sergio Villanueva of Red Oak won by a 4 foot. At 165, Baz Clear of Red Oak winning by a 4 foot. And then at 175 was a good match, but Andrew Johnson had a great night tonight. He won by tech fall in the Creston duel. He came back to beat Donovan Hedrington here. Hedrington in the 175-pound duel by a fall in 421. Cohen Bruce rebounded for Atlantic at 190 with a 1 minute and 27 pin over Caleb Ransom of Red Oak. And then at 215, Oliver Dykes of Red Oak won by a 4 foot. At 285, it was a 21-second pin for Evan Sorensen of Atlantic. He's undefeated, and he's ranked 5th in the state at 285. Sorensen over Nolan Perian in a pin in 21 seconds. Tay Jordan, the senior 106-pounder, won by 4 foot. And then at 113, Braxton Hess over Javier Ramos of Red Oak by a fall at a 130. Helen Harris at 120 wins by 4 foot. Aiden Smith at 126 wins by a 4 foot. And then at 132, as Cody mentioned, Jaden Harder had the match of the meet with a fall in 305 over Dayton Guzman of Red Oak. A major decision would have done it.
Would have been 4 points.
No, it wouldn't have done it. It would have tied it, and a tech fall would have done it. But what a job by Jaden Harder. Cody, final thoughts here.
Oh, I mean, if you're competitive, you hate to lose any duels, anything, but, the kids are continuing to grow and get better. The two teams tonight, you need to try to get your friends out to wrestle. The kids that are out, need to work on getting to a weight where you can fill a full team. But everybody's competing, not giving up, so I thought it was a good overall night. I mean, again, you don't want to lose any Hawkeye 10 duels. That's the goal, but they battled throughout both duels.
We're going to hear from Atlantic head coach Tim Duff here in just a moment. We'll be back with Coach Duff right after this on 95.7 FM and live streamed on westerniowatoday.com, powered by Nishdanet.
That wrestler in the corner is dedicated and determined to work as hard as he can for his team. His drive and perseverance comes from his core. Now, wouldn't it be nice to have an insurance agent do the same for you and be on your team? Here at Elvis Haas State Farm, we're in your corner to help you with your insurance on your auto, home, farm, business, life, and financial services. We help you understand your insurance and show you the benefits of bundling all of your coverages with just one company. Put us on your team here at Elvis Haas State Farm, 1/2 block west of the courthouse, or call 712-243-4824.
Now, back to Atlantic Trojan Sports.
Welcome back to Atlantic head coach Tim Duff joining us here after a great night of wrestling. Atlantic comes back to beat Red Oak here in this second duel by the score of 42-39, Coach. And good night of wrestling. Of course, we knew Creston was going to be a tough go, but talk about how your kids competed here.
Yeah, first, thank you guys. Thanks for all the coverage, Tom, Cody, on the video stream. Thought it was a lot of action tonight. Had the SWAT girls wrestling over there versus the Creston girls and the Red Oak girls. So that was fun to see those girls out there competing hard. I didn't get to watch much because we're wrestling at the same time, but I'd hear the fans kind of start erupting and cheering about some action on the other side and try to take a peek over there, and they looked like they were competing hard over there. So congrats to those girls and just getting out there and competing and wrestling. Wrestling's one of those sports where it just takes, a lot of courage to step out there and toe the line, and you've got to be tough. And so it's fun to see those girls get out there and compete. And our guys went out. I thought we competed hard. Creston, their lineup is real solid. We knew that. They've got a real tough lineup. I think they're, one of the top 4 dual teams in the state, top to bottom. they're going to be tough to beat any given night because they're just solid, all 14 weight classes. And, their kids come out and battle, and they wrestle hard. And so, but I thought we competed in that duel. I was proud of our kids. We kept battling. I know Creston handled the score, pretty well, but we saw some good things especially out of some of our younger kids. Keep seeing some fight out of those young guys. A lot of, things to improve on, obviously, but the effort's there, and that's where it starts. And then the older guys, some back and forth matches that I thought we picked up some nice wins there, and came back in the Red Oak duel, last match down 36-39, and, freshman Jaden Harder goes out and picks up a pin, so that was fun to see, fun for Jaden, something he'll remember. And like I said, those young guys are competing hard, and, now we get ready, and tomorrow we go to Council Bluffs, and it's always a great tournament, a lot of action. I think there's 45 teams, something like that, so you're going to see some really good teams from around the Midwest. 2 days of wrestling, probably get in 8-10 matches, and a chance for the kids to get out there and test themselves against, the best kids, some of the best kids around in the state, and from Nebraska and Missouri and Minnesota. Going to see a lot of different kids, a lot of great competition. So, we're learned from tonight and just keep pushing forward and keep improving.
Very good. What impressed you the most, maybe, of the two duels here, Coach, from your team?
We picked up some pins there in the Red Oak duel. That was probably the difference there. I think we had 4 pins. Those bonus points, loom large in those close duels, and I think that was big for us. And in the Creston duel, probably the highlight match there. You had Evan Sorensen, Max Chapman, a couple, good heavyweights, couple kids, a couple state qualifiers, guys that were, both a match away from place in last year's state tournament. Both highly ranked kids, both big, physical, strong kids, and Evan got taken down early in that match, got put on her back, but kept wrestling, kind of wrestled out of a bad position, and flipped the tables and caught a cradle. So some good things, obviously. We always say you don't have to apologize for getting a pin, so pin somebody, the match is terminated. So that's the ultimate in wrestling, is to work for the fall. But we've got to keep working on scoring points and creating a little more motion, getting a little better angles on our feet. But like I said, the fight's there. I think our kids are battling, and, now we're turning our attention and keep pushing forward, and keep working to improve.
Very good. Coach, thanks for stopping by. We appreciate it. Hey, best of luck this weekend. It's going to be a great one.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Tom.
You bet. Atlantic Head Wrestling Coach Tim Duff joining us here on our post-game show, and it's brought to you by Alvis Haas. A big thanks to Coach Duff. And really good wrestling here tonight as the Creston Panthers started off with that duel over Red Oak 67-11. Atlantic came back against Creston, fell short 48-27, and then they went 42-39 over Red Oak in the final duel. And it was Jaden Hart of Atlantic at 132 pounds getting that fall in 3:05 to get the win for the Trojans. Well, Cody Weaver will step back in here, and we'll get final thoughts from our play-by-play guy, Cody Weaver. And good duel tonight, Cody. Again, it's, Trojans had to come from behind because of those open weights, but you got to credit the guys for Red Oak like Joshua Lorette, Kyler Sandholm, Andrew Johnson. Those guys wrestled tough.
Yeah, they competed. I mean, they're up and coming, Lorette, a senior, but again, a kid that's started out with very little experience and has grown a lot, and super strong kid. And Sandholm, has an older brother that I'm sure beat on him a lot when he was young, that helped. And he's very flexible, knows where he's at, never panics, always calm, and never high or low.
So that'll do it for our broadcast tonight here on 95.7 FM and also on our live video stream, WesternIowaToday.com, powered by Nishanet. Tomorrow night we'll have the Girl Boy doubleheader basketball game. Creston comes to town to take on Atlantic, and we'll have the broadcast pregame at 5:45 with the tip-off at 7 for the girls, with the boys to follow. Cody, great job. Appreciate you, and we've got a lot more wrestling to come here this season as well, so we'll see you next time.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Cody Weaver and Tom Robinson here from Atlantic. Once again, Creston wins 67-11 over the Tigers in the first duel, 48-27 over Atlantic in duel number 2, and Atlantic defeating Red Oak 42-39 in that final duel match here for tonight. Well, we're going to stay right here. We've got our SWAT coach here. Hang on. We're not going to say goodnight just yet. Tiffany South joining us here, SWAT Valkyrie head coach. And, boy, I tell you, give us a recap of your effort here tonight, Coach.
Yeah, it was great. We came out and we knew Highway 34 was going to bring us some really tough competition. We actually have wrestled them in a couple of our tournaments.
Yes.
And some of those matches that we lost in our tournaments, we won tonight, which brought us out big on top, which is amazing. And then, you know, it's always... We have so many talented heavyweights down here in Southwest Iowa. And Savannah Sistad and Haley Armstrong are two of those. They're both ranked in the state. And that was just, it was awesome. It was such a good confidence booster for Haley and to get out there and show what she's been working on. It's been fun.
What's coming up here next, Coach? I know you've got a lot going on.
Yeah, we have another tournament this weekend in Valley in Des Moines, and then we are also. Then we have a little bit of a break, which is kind of nice. But we've been working really hard, and it showed tonight. Like the way the girls came out and performed tonight, it was fantastic. It just made us all really happy.
Very good. Anything else to add?
No, it was just support. The support tonight was great.
Oh, it was.
It was so awesome to have so many fans in the stand. And, you know, sometimes I'd hear them cheer and I'd look up like, oh, did I miss something? But it was good. It was good. And then I love having all of our SWAT team come out and have all this support. And then all of our girls, I really tried hard to get all of our girls matches, even if it was against another SWAT girl, but to be able to compete with the atmosphere, even if it's against a teammate, is I think a really good learning experience for them. So I was trying to get that going, even though it was kind of a cluster there for a little while.
Well, Coach South, thank you so much for stopping by, and great job, off to a great start this season, and best of luck at Valley.
Thank you so much, Tom.
All right, well, that'll do it for our broadcast. We thank you for joining us here tonight, and we'll have high school basketball coming up tomorrow night. Again, that girl-boy doubleheader will start at 5:45, tip-off at 6. Good night.
This has been a presentation of Atlantic Trojans.